political minds from opposite sides of the aisle to do just that. It's Beyond the Talking Points with Dan Proft and Donna Brazil on Thursday, March 22nd. Proft and Brazil will go head-to-head, tackling the big issues facing our nation. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/beyond.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with the 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
AM 560's Passport to Paradise contest is open to any legal U.S. resident, age 18 or older. To enter, download the AM 560 mobile app and fill out the entry form between January 22nd and February 9th, 2018. One grand prize winner will be randomly chosen on February 12th and will receive a 7-night trip for two to Riviera Maya, Mexico, including round-trip airfare and a junior suite at the Secrets Maroma Beach Riviera, Cancun. Approximate retail value $3,334. Visit 560theanswer.com for complete rules.
5:10 and a check of the early morning roads. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here is Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. Lots of spinouts and crashes. We have delays on 8094 westbound Chase to Burr. There was an earlier crash. That one is now cleared out of the way. Eastbound Adams Tollway I-90. It's all bottled up 59 to before Roselle Road. Mild delays early on the inbound side of I-57 at the Bishop Ford Freeway. 2 or 3 minutes worth of delays either way. Inbound Ryan heavy, Roosevelt to Burns Circle. Stevenson outbound at Cicero Avenue off the exit ramp. The vehicle slid off into the ditch area. Edens, Kennedy, Eisenhower, they're looking good right now. Crash on the west side on Damon at Taylor. Police activity on the south side. Police are investigating a shooting in the 6200 block of South May. Traffic and flight boards at O'Hare and Midway show very few delays, incidentally, this morning. We'll keep an eye on that. Traffic service of the Chicago Auto Show. Connect with the Chicago Auto Show on social media to learn how you can win free tickets to the nation's largest auto show. The Chicago Auto Show, February 10th through the 19th at McCormick Place. Follow and use hashtag CAS18. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answers starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today turning cloudy and bitterly cold with a high 18. Cold night with snow accumulating an inch or two. Untreated surfaces will be slippery. Low 12. Still cold tomorrow with cloud breaking for some sun. High 22. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
It is 8 at O'Hare, 10 above along the lakefront, but 8 below this morning in Aurora with a wind chill of minus 19. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and we're coming to you live from the Signature Bank branch office in Chicago, in Edison Park. We know we're in Edison Park because we see a lot of the politicians still stumbling out of the gin mills at this hour.
Yes, we do.
And this is part of our Signature Bank business tour that we've done the past couple of years. So we're kicking that off again today.
Yeah, but normally
at Signature Bank.
Yeah, normally we're at the Signature Bank downtown on Wacker Drive.
You got to mix it up. You got to go to all the Signature Bank.
I like this. This is easier, more Well, I like free parking. That's a nice thing.
Yeah, it's a great benefit.
Yeah, great
it's
benefit.
The little things in life.
And this office is beautiful. I wonder who designed it. Is it brand new?
Yes, it's.
Or has it been here for a while?
No, it's a relatively new building, and
Yeah.
it's fascinating that you are so taken with the
With
vanilla offerings of a bank.
Oh, I've just been told by Eric Thomas that it's 2 years old.
Yeah, well, that's new.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
The shovel's still on the wall, where they broke ground.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is riveting. Why don't you comment on the teller spaces?
Oh, I like the granite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very nice.
Very nice.
It's
No Formica here.
your compliments, that word picture.
Yes.
Compliments of Amy Jacobson, in case nobody's ever been to a bank before.
Yes. Well, it's bright. It's not my bank is very dreary. It's dark walls, dark carpet. This is airy and light.
Well, this bank has money.
Oh.
That's the difference between this bank and your bank.
Okay. Thank you.
So here's kind of a sad note to start the day, even though we're excited to be on our Signature Bank business tour. The passing of John Mahoney.
I know.
The passing of Chicago, great Oak Park, technically, but the great actor John Mahoney from Chicago died at the age of 77. And I actually got to sit next to him at a Museum of Broadcast Communications gala back about 6 years ago, in 2012. Bruce Dumont's place.
Right.
And I mean, what a delightful, unassuming guy he was. He was so much fun to talk to.
Yep.
And, of course, you remember him as Frank Court.
Right. From on Frasier.
No.
No.
That would be Martin Crane.
Martin Crane. Yeah, Martin Crane. Frank Court.
Say Anything.
Oh.
Don't I have that right?
The movie Say Anything with John Cusack?
With John Cusack was also in it.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah, that was one of his greats. Here's something else. James Court was James. What did I say? James Court?
You said no.
Frank Court.
Frank Court.
James Court.
That's why you're confusing me.
I know a Frank Court. You don't even know that John Cusack was in Say Anything. You asked that.
I knew he was in it because he held up the.
Sing a few
Right.
bars. What's the song? What was the
in
song?
your eyes, the light,
all
the
right,
heat.
stop. That's enough. Please.
But he held up the boombox, remember,
Yeah,
to try to get the girl.
Yeah, to Iona Sky. I know.
Okay.
Exactly. Here's something interesting though too. This offering on John Mahoney talking about his faith. He said, "I've always prayed to the Holy Ghost for wisdom, understanding, and knowledge." He also this review of. This interview of him comes from a book by Kathleen Falsani, who used to be the religion reporter for the Sun-Times. Remember Kathleen Falsani?
Yeah.
So this is from her book. John's focus on kind living evolved over time. This is an interview she did with Mahoney. I was very, very self-centered when I was young. I thought the world revolved around me. It even affected my work when I became an actor. I used to think about how great I had to be and how wonderful I had to be on that stage instead of honoring the playwright or honoring the screenwriter and becoming part of something that was wonderful. Kath Falsani goes on to write, while he can't put an exact date on it, John believes his mind began to change when his heart did, around the time he had what he describes as an epiphany in a Roman Catholic church downtown Chicago around 1975, says Mahoney. I was in the loop, and I went into St. Peter's, and I went to Mass, and it was just about the most emotional thing that ever happened to me. I don't know where it came from. I just had a little breakdown of some sort, and after that made a conscious effort to be a better person, to be a part of the world, and to try and revolve around everyone else in the world instead of expecting them to revolve around me. I think maybe it was the intercession of the Holy Ghost. I think he answered my prayers when I stopped in the church that day. My life was totally different from that day on.
Well, I met him as well and interviewed him once, and he was just so gracious and humble. I remember he told me he was born in England and that he served in the Army for 3 years and that he eventually went to Quincy College in Quincy, Illinois, and got a bachelor's degree and, always just wanted to come back. He was performing in a play and was needed to be hospitalized on Sunday. He was at Steppenwolf Theater, and so we don't know the exact details, but a lot of people remember him as Martin Crane from Frasier.
I accidentally stain your carpet, and you set fire to the one thing in this apartment I care about, and heave it out into the street.
I'll tell you what, the healthiest thing you can do right
Want to know the healthiest thing you can do?
Shut my yap.
Bingo!
Yeah, he was great. I saw him
10 years on
last
Frasier.
year. He was in because he was a regular
Oh, yeah.
contributor to Steppenwolf. He was in the Rembrandt last year. I saw his last performance in the Rembrandt last year, and then he was continuing his theater work.
Yeah, the play he was in now is called We Not Old. And well, he's 77 years old, so
And it was
he was performing over the weekend, and it happened on Sunday.
well, it was complications from throat cancer, right?
Yeah. He was hospitalized, and then that was it.
Well, rest in peace to a great artist, John Mahoney. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Signature Bank in Edison Park.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Coming up later, Eagles fans, well, what one fan did to celebrate is unlike anything we've ever seen or heard of. But first, here's your forecast. Today, it's going to be cloudy, a high of 19 degrees. We are at 6 degrees right now at O'Hare. Tonight, it's going to be cold with some snow at times, 1 to 2 inches, low of 12. And for Wednesday, we're going to have some cold with clouds, a high, though, of 22 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Eastbound Adams Tollway, things have cleared up. There was an earlier crash near Roselle Road. Traffic's moving pretty well on the Adams Tollway. That being said, we've had a lot of spinouts this morning. 8094 westbound. Have residual delays. Chase to Burr. There was an earlier collision there. And we're seeing delays now on the inbound side of the Ryan from 95th to 83rd where there's a crash. And it's heavy as usual. Roosevelt into the Burn Circle. 19 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 18 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop Ford 18 as well. Stevenson, there's a crash off the outbound exit ramp to Cicero Avenue. That ramp is open, however. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
For more than a half century, Mueller CPA and Financial Advisory has provided audit, tax, outsourced accounting, business consulting, and financial advisory services to Chicagoland companies. Mueller provides customized financial guidance to a client base that includes independent business owners, startups, local government, and nonprofits. I'm with Dave Nissen, Mueller Managing Partner.
Thanks, Dan. Mueller values being part of the community for the last 50 years, meeting our clients' financial service needs. A major component of meeting those needs is our professionals' superb knowledge and their ability to deliver timely and quality solutions to meet our clients' challenges. Whether you're interested in tax minimization strategies, looking to expand your business, or need assistance with business planning, our team can help. Our goal is your company's financial success today and over a lifetime.
For questions about how the recent legislative changes can specifically affect your business or how to effectively plan for these changes, call Dave Nissen at 847-888-8600 or visit MuellerCPA.com. That's Mueller, M-U-E-L-L-E-R, CPA.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy coming to you live from Signature Bank in Edison Park. We're kicking off our Signature Bank business tour today. And Still a lot of afterglow from the Philadelphia Eagles
Well,
Super Bowl victory on Sunday.
Yeah, they've announced that they're going to have the big parade on Thursday, so that's good. And a lot of the fans, I mean, they just erupted into madness. Street poles were turned out, were torn down, cars were flipped over. They even decided that it would be a good idea to sit on the awning of the Ritz-Carlton, and that came crashing down. But
That's why it was smart, by the way, to slick those street poles before the NFC Championship game, so they couldn't climb them.
Yeah, and
they should have done that again.
Yeah, but they did do it again. It doesn't matter because they still climbed them anyway. But one fan took it to a new level. I've covered a lot of sporting events, the fan reaction. I've never seen this because, they always have the horses out to keep crowds under control. Well, the horses, they poop. And one fan got egged on to trying out the poop.
More of a visual experience.
No, because they're going to chant, eat it. Eat it. Eat it. And he looks up the clock. Eat it. Eat it.
Were you there actually chanting as well?
I was watching. I mean, so the drunk bum gets down on his knees. He didn't touch it because he apparently didn't want to get his hands dirty.
No.
But he gets down on his knees, puts his hands behind his back, and grabs a bite, and then looks up at the crowd and goes, "Arr!" With poop in his mouth. Absolutely disgusting. I don't even know if he remembers doing
Try
that.
excrement.
Okay.
Let's talk like an adult.
Oh, excrement?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Horse discharge. How about that?
Horse discharge. Meanwhile, your quarterback, Mr. Knowles.
Well, what happened?
He didn't get arrested because the cops are like, whatever.
Well, why? What are you going to arrest him for?
They didn't want to touch him.
So, was he interviewed? Did he have anything to say about it? Did he go get another drink? Wash that down?
Did somebody bet? I mean, that's the thing. They're telling me eat it. He didn't take any, bribe or any bets with it. He just ate the thing. But Mr. Knowles was in Disney World with his wife, and the baby, realizing he's
Mr.
Foles. I'm saying Knowles.
Yeah.
Nick Foles, excuse me. And he realized
Foal is a baby horse.
Oh, well, he might be backup quarterback again, and he's okay with that. He just wants to spend more time with his family.
I can't wait to have more time to be a husband and a father. And do those things, go on walks, do all the little things. That's what I look forward to. And as it pertains to football, I love the city of Philadelphia. I was fortunate to come back and sign with the Eagles. I have no clue what my future holds, but I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to live in the present.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Well,
want to go for a long walk. So sweet.
He likes long walks. That's one of his turn-ons. There's nothing wrong with that.
Was that in his profile?
And
on Match, I like long walks.
Don't forget, he wants to be a youth pastor.
No, he does.
He is done with football, which apparently he's fine with that. If it's sooner rather than later, he's got a Super Bowl ring.
Do you think
it's not something Ron Jaworski can say?
That's true. Do you think he'll get traded?
It's not something Randall Cunningham can say.
No.
It's not something Donovan McNabb can say. Nick Foles can say it.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll get traded?
No.
No. He'll just stay the backup.
Yeah. See how durable Carson Wentz is. Also, there's always going to be this controversy. We had this with President Obama too, so I don't know why this is being made such a big deal. But 3 Eagles players have already said they're going to skip the White House visit.
No.
Yeah. Malcolm Jenkins,
I was going to say, let me guess, Malcolm Jenkins.
You'll remember Malcolm Jenkins is the one who believes that police officers should be subject to emotional IQ testing. So that's Malcolm Jenkins. Torrey Smith, wide receiver, formerly the Ravens, and defensive end Chris Long, brother of Kyle Long, son of Howie Long.
He's not going to go?
He was asked if he was going to go, and he said, "No, I'm not going to the White House. Are you kidding me?"
All right, well, it's their loss.
That's exactly right. That's exactly the right attitude to take. Dan and Amy, we're coming to you live from Signature Bank, kicking off the Signature Bank Business Tour today.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Risk mitigation is an important consideration that smart companies pay attention to in today's complicated business climate. Some of the greatest risks occur when your company hires new employees or when you execute new business financial relationships. When your company hires, leases, or conducts financial transactions, decisions are critical. That's why veteran-owned and operated Global Verification Network is a company you should know. Startups to Fortune 100s trust Global Verification Network, and so should you. They're a background screening and investigative services company dedicated to expert, timely, and affordable background screening services for employment, tenant screening, and business due diligence. Global Verification Network is headquartered in Chicagoland, a federally recognized veteran-owned small business, and never offshores data like many competitors. To request your company's risk analysis without obligation or cost, visit globalverificationnetwork.com or call 877-695-1179 or visit them online at globalverificationnetwork.com. Global Verification Network, the risk mitigation experts, 877-695-1179.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
A twice-deported Guatemalan kills Indianapolis Colts' Edwin Jackson, and it's barely reported, but it'll be reported here at 5:38.
And later, Jeanne Ives comes forward and defends that controversial ad, and one Dan Proft is interviewed on local television.
Oh, boy.
Oh, sends a shiver up my spine. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Check in with Mike Scott. Good morning, Mike.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. 10 degrees, partly cloudy skies, snow-covered roads. Drive with care. Jim Telemonte along in just a moment. Stocks free falling today. Dow futures have dropped about 1,000 points overnight. They've rebounded a bit, actually, back into the red, while the Dow itself back into the black, while the Dow Industrial Average registered its biggest one-day drop yesterday from a point total, not a percentage total, losing 1,175 points. Financial analyst Sue Herrera says the question for the average investor is, should he or she sell right now?
The market was poised for a pullback, that we do normally get pullbacks that kind of are healthy for the market longer term.
The sell-off being led by healthcare and energy sectors, Asian markets closing down, European markets opening lower. Analysts crunching the numbers in Asia do not expect the sell-off to stop there soon. Organizers of the South Korea Winter Olympics that open on Friday scrambling as fears of norovirus sideline more than 1,000 private security staffers. Now, South Korean military personnel are providing security while private staff undergo medical testing. There are reports former Trump White House chief strategist Steve Bannon will not testify before the House Intelligence Committee today, in spite of a subpoena requiring him to appear. California Democrat Congressman Eric Swalwell shared his thoughts on Bannon possibly not showing up.
I expect my colleagues, if he does not show up, to issue and start contempt proceedings.
And Reuters says two sources say Bannon will ignore the subpoena, which could open him up to that contempt of Congress charge. A Pentagon agency trying to explain how it lost track of more than $800 million during the Obama administration. An audit release yesterday shows the Defense Logistics Agency couldn't document hundreds of millions of dollars for construction projects and equipment expenses ending in the 2016 fiscal year. The SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket is due to launch from Cape Canaveral in Florida today. Falcon Heavy, the most powerful rocket in the world, SpaceX says it can lift more than twice the cargo into space than its nearest competitor at a fraction of the cost. That small winter storm that blew through Chicago prompted airlines to cancel more than 600 flights at the city's two airports. Plows are still clearing runways this morning. Two are dead following a fire on Chicago's west side. Blaze breaking out early this morning inside an apartment building near Wilcox and Pulaski. City of Chicago getting a little bit of good news about its finances. The Kroll Bond Rating Agency upgrading the city's debt by 2 notches. Kings rebound from a 9-point first quarter to beat the Bulls 104-98 last night. Blackhawks and Flames close out a home-and-home at the UC. College hoops tonight. Northwestern will take on Michigan. Notre Dame battling Boston College. And our Northern Illinois Huskies will visit Toledo. The news, a service of Indeed.com. Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR pros can post job openings with screener questions and then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. 5:33, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher reacts to the State of the Union.
Real simple takeaway. If you weren't impressed by the president's speech, not just the delivery, but the message, what was contained, the spirit of the message, the direction of the country, the State of the Union. If you weren't impressed, then it's real simple. Your lack of objectivity blinds you from the truth.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
A bad cold and flu season is upon us. The main difference between them is the flu brings a fever. Be prepared with the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, backed by more than 70 clinical studies.
On AM 560, The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
5:35, and an update on the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Headed to O'Hare. We're seeing a few more delays now, and we have some cancellations on the board also. About 35 at O'Hare, only a couple at Midway. On the expressways, we have delays on the inbound Eisenhower, 25th Avenue to 1st Avenue. 31 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound Fonda, 29. Edens and the Kennedy still look good. Down Stevenson, though. Delays on northbound I-55 start at Weber, and it's 38 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 37. Ryan, 18 minutes, 95th to downtown. Crash at 83rd, blocking 2 left lanes. It's heavier on I-57, 22 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 37 minutes, 80-94 to the ride. Eastbound Adams Tollway at Elmhurst Road. Crash partly blocking the exit ramp. Traffic, service of Staples. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less. From storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. Right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. Ends 2/17/18. Excludes TurboTax. Basic. Staples. It's pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Turning cloudy, not as cold. High 19 today. Cold overnight. Snow kicks up 1 to 2 inches. On untreated surfaces, will stick, will be slippery, and a low of 12 above. Clouds will break for sun tomorrow, but only a high of 22. Currently 8 at O'Hare, 10 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
Let not your heart be troubled. Listen to me, Sean Hannity. I'll have the latest news and what it all means for you. It's coming up at 2 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, coming to you live from Signature Bank in Edison Park. We're kicking off our Signature Bank business tour today that we've done the last couple years to highlight businesses around the Chicagoland area that are doing well and doing interesting things in spite of the relatively hostile business climate in the state. The media, Amy, this is a terrible story. And it's been covered, but the details, certain details have not been covered extensively, and I find it rather instructive.
I find it sickening.
This is the story of Edwin Jackson, who is the Indianapolis Colts player, as well as a 54-year-old Uber driver named Jeffrey Monroe, who were standing near a stopped vehicle on Sunday about 4 a.m. when a black Ford F-150 pickup truck drove onto the emergency shoulder and struck them both.
Well, here's what happened. The Colts linebacker, Edwin Jackson, wasn't feeling well, and he wanted to get out of the car, so that's why he got out of the car. The Uber driver was trying to help him, and that's when they got hit.
And the driver of that truck, of course, heroically got out and fled the scene on foot before he was apprehended. He was initially identified as Alex Cabrera Gonzalez. He was initially identified as Alex Cabrera Gonzalez. That was the alias he gave police. It turned out that his actual name is Manuel Orrego Zavala, and he is a twice deported citizen of Guatemala who is in this country illegally.
Didn't have a driver's license. The person that he was pretending to be was Mexican. He's actually, Manuel is Guatemalan. He ran from the scene, too, and then they ran after him and tackled him. And the problem is that this raises the immigration issue to a whole new level, and nobody cares.
No, it doesn't raise it to a new level. It raises it to the level it's been at. What's the difference between this and the Dennis McCann case? What's the difference between this and Eric Brady's wife in Champaign? What's the difference between this and Kate Steinle?
He's an Indianapolis Colts. He's a professional football player. That's what the difference is. That's why I thought there'd be more outrage, at least maybe possibly in the sports world, but nobody gives a rat's patoo. Oh. NBC News didn't cover it. ABC News didn't cover it. CBS on their nightly news programs. I had to dig. I was looking on the internet last night to find something like there's got to be a march, right, in Indianapolis outside Lucas, Oil Stadium where somebody cares. And they did. They found, an Indianapolis immigration attorney.
If this had been, for example, a teenage driver who had been intoxicated, we wouldn't, as a community, jump to say all teenagers are bad.
Yeah, right. That's not.
We're not. Well, fine, because that's the arguments you always hear in the wake of these cases, and we're not saying all people who are here illegally are bad. Not saying that, but what we are saying is we have a system, and we have a party that pays a lot of lip service to removing illegal immigrant criminals from this country and does nothing in furtherance of it. You know how I know? Because we've been talking about this for 30 years. How about some evidence? Here's Bill Clinton in a State of the Union address talking about illegal immigration and violent criminal illegal aliens in particular.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws.
Fast forward, more than a decade later, Barack Obama.
Even as we are a nation of immigrants, we're also a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws. and I believe that they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous. When I took office, I committed to fixing this broken immigration system, and I began by doing what I could to secure our borders. But today, our immigration system is broken, and everybody knows it. There are actions I have the legal authority to take as president. Tonight, I'm announcing those actions. We'll build on our progress at the border with additional resources for our law enforcement personnel so that they can stem the flow of illegal crossings and speed the return of those who do cross over. If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. We expect people who live in this country to play by the rules. We expect that those who cut the line will not be unfairly rewarded.
Same rap we've been hearing from from politicians both sides of the aisle for generations. And now, in this climate, what are we doing? We're having a debate about sanctuary cities and sanctuary states. It is remarkable, including, of course, our surrender Republican Governor Bruce Rauner, who made Illinois a sanctuary state, and there's just no two ways around it. Barack Obama and Bill Clinton, did you hear them? The tough talk. Talk. Why can't we
action?
Right. Why can't we get anywhere in terms of thinking about changing the way we do immigration in this country so we can still be that nation of immigrants we've always been, which is I'm a total proponent of, is because they can't keep their first promise. They refuse to take the steps necessary to keep their first promise, which is to remove violent people, convicted criminals, twice people have been deported multiple times, as in the case with this double manslaughter.
He came back into this country 3 times illegally.
It's the same thing over and over and over again, and yet we're supposed to trust the good intentions and that we're working on it, and it's not as bad as you think, and there's plenty of blame to go around. Excuses from the same people.
When is it going to end? And when are people going to care? I mean, I honestly thought the NFL angle, the superstar, because not everybody makes the NFL, would matter. I mean, this kid, Edwin Jackson, his nickname was Pound Cake. He grew up in Atlanta with 11 brothers and sisters, and his family is just devastated.
All of them were just sweet, funny little kids running around, full of life, energetic. Edwin was kind of quiet, but you can imagine he goes from like a little skinny, quiet little boy to being a massive young man, and so you see that whole metamorphosis happening right in front of you.
And don't forget the Uber driver. I mean, he was a 55-year-old Jeffrey Monroe. He was working a second job, Dan, so that he could take his wife of 20-plus years out to a vacation.
If you're drinking and driving, it's murder. I mean, that is as bad as going out shooting someone.
But
he was intoxicated, by the way.
Yeah, and the family's still trying to process this, so they're focusing more on the drinking and driving aspect than the man shouldn't even have been here in the first place aspect and immigration laws, which I'm sure they will get to. But 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line.
Yeah, I mean, because you have somebody that's high profile in the Colts linebacker killed, maybe this will attract more attention than it otherwise would, but it's also a sad commentary that if it had just been the middle-aged Uber driver, one of the forgotten Americans, dare I say, then we just move on. Like with the exception of John Cass, and thanks to people like John Cass, we would have moved on from Denny McCann's death in Chicago if people like John Cass didn't take up the issue. We would move on from the case of Eric Brady's wife killed in a similar crash in the Champaign area. And we shouldn't move on. We shouldn't move on until you have people in positions of authority that are serious about these issues. And I'll tell you right, in this state we don't. Ann in Chicago, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Oh, thanks for taking my call. Yes, I was wondering, compassion. They want Trump to be compassionate. Well, he was compassionate with Hillary Clinton. What good did it do us? He was compassionate with his family, Kushner. What good did it do the country? They want to be compassionate with illegal immigrants. What about Mexico? They stuffed 76 people recently in a tractor trailer. The parents send their kids over. We're not going to deport them back in trailers, that's for sure. So how could we become compassionate. We need a tough love. That's what
Thanks, Ann. Appreciate it. Casper in West Chicago.
Hi, good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy.
Morning.
Thanks for taking my call. I just want to say that it's not true that only the Democrats do this. In the last 30 years, like you say, there have been 2 or 3 Republican administrations that have been doing the same thing.
I already said
that. So another thing, the problem of all the governments is that they use everything for gain votes and activate the base. I'll give you one example. In the Obama administration, what was the main thing that the Tea Party had? The debt. We can't have a big debt. And right now, everybody forgot about the debt. And if one Democrat wins the presidency, the next cycle, you will have all the Tea Parties and even you saying, "Oh, we have a big debt. That's why we can't give anything for Medicare and health and
Casper,
anything."
stop.
And
Casper,
you will do exactly the same.
Casper, stop. Talk about this. Casper, I'm talking.
Using these
Casper, if
motivate the base.
Casper, if you're going to continue to interrupt me, Casper, you're going to be dropped. Do you want to have a conversation or do you want to talk over me? What do you want to do?
No. Okay.
So let me ask you this question. Talk to the issue at bar. The issue is violent, criminal, illegal aliens in this country, like the man who just killed 2 people in Indianapolis. Tell me what we should do about that.
Exactly what Trump is doing. Exactly. That's what he's doing. He's deporting all these people. He is enforcing the law. That's what all the a lot of ministers haven't been doing. But just let me ask you, what can do? You want to deport the 11 million here? You want to punish all these people all over? So solve the problem. Don't just talk about it and motivate your base.
I agree, Casper. Thanks for the call. I will. The way to solve the problem is to take the bromides that Barack Obama and Bill Clinton both delivered in those addresses that we played clips from and actually attach meaning to them, that we're a nation of immigrants, but we're also a nation of laws. Those were just words when Obama and Clinton, and frankly, a lot of Republicans say them too. They're just words. Well, they're words that need to be attached to policy if you want to make those words mean anything.
Well, the good news is even if he makes bond, he's in ICE custody right now, and they claim that they are going to deport him.
Right.
But do you believe it? And that when is it again to cross? I mean, he stole someone's identity. He didn't have a driver's license. He was driving drunk, and they're still trying to figure out whose car he was in.
And he got back here 3 times.
3 times.
So tell me again about border security at the southern border. Tell me again about it and how we don't need enhanced border security, even though we've had every president up to the present for the last 30 years say the same things, and we have yet another instance where the policy has failed, the approach has failed, the words have meant nothing. And now he's going to be deported, and this time for good, right? But because we couldn't keep our word to the American people, 2 Americans are dead as the result. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Signature Bank.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Napa know-how. Right now, you can get a $20 prepaid Visa gift card by mail with the purchase of a Napa Legend Premium Battery. Its superior durability, capacity, and power make it the obvious choice for people who hate getting stranded by a dead car battery. So pretty much everyone. The Napa Legend Premium Battery and $20 back. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer ends 2/28/18.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, what are you doing up here on the roof?
I want to tell the world I just met the woman of my dreams. What about you?
I want to tell the world that Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
They saved me $782.
Oh, you go first then. $782 really puts finding love into perspective.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Hey, if you still haven't purchased the very best pillow, of course, I'm talking about MyPillow. The 4-pack deal, folks, is back. So I strongly urge you to go online or call now to make sure you take advantage of this great deal. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the absolute best deal available anywhere. The MyPillow 4-pack deal includes 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows at 50% off. I love that I can move the fill to give me the support I need regardless of my sleep position. I never, ever wake up with a stiff neck or headache. MyPillow is made in America. Washable, dryable, hypoallergenic, and has a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the 4-pack in February by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
She seems happier. Her fur is so much shinier, silkier, softer. She has really mellowed a lot.
Sheba is a 105 lean pounds of shiny, smooth, happy dog for life.
The shedding has stopped. The itching has stopped.
Since 2001, we've helped more than 250,000 dogs get over their nutritional deficiency miseries.
And saved our customers bazillions in vet bills.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Come to Dynovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food. Dynovite is nutrition.
Dynovite for life.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dynovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher and Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher and Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher and Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at kelleherbuckley.com.
It's really cold at this time of the year.
The Joe Walsh Show.
A very nice man in Elgin decided to take in homeless people into his basement to get them out of the cold. And wouldn't you know it, the city government told him to cease and desist. Something about municipal regulations or whatever.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Big government sucks.
5:57. Let's get an update on the early morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Inbound ride at 83rd. A crash is cleared, but damage is done. Traffic is jammed, and it's really backing up I-57 at the Bishop Ford Freeway. I-57 delay started at 111th. 42 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 59 minutes. 80-94 to the Ryan. Jam starts at 130th, continues up to 83rd, and Ryan runs 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. Edens delays are outbound Oakton and before Dempster with a crash in the left lane. 23 minutes, Montrose to Lake Cook. Kennedy, 22 minutes either way between O'Hare and downtown. Eisenhower, 38 minutes, 390 to the Circle, outbound 30. Stevenson, 42 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38. Mild delays on some of the tollways and a big jam on westbound 8094 Broadway to Burr crash. Traffic. Service at Staples. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less. From storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. Right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. Ends 2/17/18. Excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples. Pro Time. Traffic answer when you need them most on Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Mostly sunny to start, then clouds increase throughout the day today with a high 18. Wind chill values of 0 to 10 below 0 for the morning. Then tonight, still cold with snow accumulating an inch or two, low 12. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
6 at O'Hare, 11 along the lakefront. It's minus 12 this morning in Aurora, where there is icy fog and some low visibilities with a wind chill of minus 22. It's our cold spot of the day so far. The news, a service of Accountemps. When you could use help closing your books and need additional staff, it's time to call Accountemps. They can provide you with bookkeepers and other accounting and finance pros on a temporary or project basis fast. Call today. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 5:59, here are the stories we're following this morning. 2 are dead following a fire on Chicago's west side. Chicago Fire tells us the cause is under investigation. The Democrat frontrunner in the race for Illinois governor is trying to explain the latest taped conversations with former jailed governor Rod Blagojevich. Chicago receiving some good news about its finances. The Kroll Bond Rating Agency upgrading the city's debt by 2 notches. The Kings rebound from a 9-point first quarter to beat the Bulls, 104-98. Blackhawks and Flames are closing out a home-and-home tonight at the United Center. It's cold outside, 6 above right now. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
Will we get to see the Democratic rebuttal? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Just like last week, we're waiting on President Trump to okay the release of a classified memo. This one aims to poke holes in the Republican version. Fox's Rachel Sutherland, live in Washington.
Dave, the House Intelligence Committee voted unanimously to send the Democrats' rebuttal memo to the president. Ranking member Adam Schiff says the 10-page missive provides crucial context for the Republican memo.
We think this will help inform the public of the many distortions and inaccuracies in the majority memo.
The president has 5 days to decide whether to release the memo. In the event he decides to block it, the full House of Representatives could still vote to release the memo. Dave?
Rachel, yesterday President Trump was in Ohio, reveling in the Republican memo's contents, alleging an abuse of government surveillance using the anti-Trump dossier.
Did we catch them in the act or what? You know what I'm talking about. Oh, did we catch them in the act? They are very embarrassed.
Now, the New York Times reports the president's lawyers are urging him not to agree to be interviewed in a special counsel's Russia probe, fearing he might make a false statement. Last month, President Trump said he wants to talk. He's looking forward to it, claiming it's all a witch hunt. Well, this might sound familiar. The government runs out of funding in 2 days, and the House may today approve a short-term spending bill, though Democrats might balk at increased defense spending.
Last month, a 3-day government shutdown was triggered. Democrats demanded long-term protections for DACA recipients, young immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children. That is not a part of this spending bill. Instead, Senate Republican leaders say if the government is open at the end of the week, a full immigration debate will begin.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Stocks could drop again today. Futures are down big the morning after the Dow's 1,175-point plunge. Then markets also way down overseas. Vice President Pence says
the most important numbers to focus on are the fundamentals.
And he says the economy's strong. Pence spoke from Alaska as he heads to South Korea for the Olympics. Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. And hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-613-7416. That's 800-613-7416. 800-613-7416. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. Experts warn of a stock market crash any day now, and you could lose 50% or more of your hard-earned savings again. But you don't have to lose a penny. There's a better, safer way to save for retirement, and you can learn about it in a free report. This method continues to grow your money even when the market tumbles. To get this free report, go to bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com. Bankonyourself.com.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Trust, trust, trust. Yes, I said trust 3 times because I want to tell you about a recent AM 560 charity benefactor and company that built their business and reputation over 3 decades by being trustworthy. I'm talking about Dependable Construction and founder Joe Barron. Tuck pointing, brick, and roofing is Joe's specialty. Joe started as a laborer, then progressed to an expert tuck pointer and bricklayer. In addition to masonry and roofing, Dependable Construction has grown to become a full-service Angie's List and Better Business Bureau award-winning contractor. For brick, masonry, and roofing on residential, commercial, or industrial projects to any remodeling or construction, you'll deal directly with owner Joe Barron. So call Joe at Dependable Construction today. Mention AM 560 and receive a 10% discount on most jobs. Call 773-244-1091. That's 773-244-1091 or visit tuckpointchicago.net. tuckpointchicago.net. Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella, Sunday mornings starting at 8.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're coming to you live from Signature Bank in Edison Park because today we are kicking off our Signature Bank business tour that we've done the last couple of years. This is the opening salvo. We'll talk to one of the founders of Signature Bank at the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour.
Is that Kevin Bastuga?
That is Kevin Bastuga.
I've heard about him.
He was he was in my class at Bennett Academy, and our paths diverged. He went on to success, and I chose a different path. And so we'll talk to him.
But this is your bank, so you're at home here.
This is my business bank.
Do you just hang out here sometimes in the lounge area because it's so bright and airy and just a friendly atmosphere?
Complimentary coffee is nice.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to all of that, but we've got more pillow talk between Spalding and Blago. Some new audio released of J.B. Pritzker and Blagojevich still communicating over that Senate appointment that was central to Blagojevich's indictment and a vacation.
Yeah, about a 10-minute block of audio was dropped late last night, and Pritzker, who was advising Blagojevich on filling the U.S. Senate seat held by Barack Obama, called him up with a little suggestion of the man who he would like to see fill the seat.
I got a great idea for you, though. Okay. I'm sure you thought of this one, but Jesse White. Even though I know you guys aren't bosom buddies or anything, it covers you on the African American thing. Correct. He's totally, he's Senate material in a way that Emil Jones isn't, if I may say.
Okay.
I mean, he's just, I don't know how to say it exactly, but Emil's a little more crass.
Right.
And it opens up the Secretary of State spot, which is the key spot,
right?
Controls jobs, et cetera, and it'd be a lot less pressure on you. You don't have to put an African American in that spot.
Correct.
But the African American, to replace an African American, was important, especially the Democratic Party. So he wanted to make sure too that. Are you sure Jesse Jackson Jr. He's not on the list, right?
So that that seems like I know the Jesse White thing is like it's not a perfect thing because he's not like your best friend, but it does cover you and it doesn't get you Jesse Jackson Jr. Which God, please, I mean.
Listen to me.
I mean, it would be a nightmare.
We all agree.
I hope you don't do that. But
man,
Valerie Jarrett, I guess, I don't know if she's really out of the running, but
that's.
Then he threw in a little Valerie Jarrett there.
Sure, that's. Look, that's forging bipartisan consensus because that's something. His comments on Jesse Jr. is something I think we can all get behind. 312-642-5600 Turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA Turnkey.pro text line. Do you find those conversations problematic as it pertains to Pritzker's candidacy for governor?
Well, it gets better because they talk about black and blacks who are like whites.
But if you're forced to put an African American in the spot, which my guess is you're not forced to do anything, but my guess is a lot of pressure to do it. Of all the African Americans I can think that are sort of like qualified and vetted, and people will say, "Oh, that's a pretty good pick." The one that is least offensive and maybe gets you the most because it gets you that Secretary of State appointment is Jesse White.
You can argue he's got a lot in common with Obama. He's black and white.
God,
how stupid is that?
Terrible.
It's
a terrible joke.
I mean,
it's a terrible joke by Blagojevich. But I mean, what? Why is leveling up Jesse White as a who routinely wins all 102 counties in his re-elections? Why is that offensive?
Well, I'm not used to hearing that. I mean, you live in the political world. You have super PACs. You push for certain candidates. Just the average person, I'm not used to. I do not know the inner workings of the political world. So hearing them talk about, a white, black, and he'd be good in this position, and don't put this African American in that position. It's odd.
But does that surprise you? I mean, first of all, you have politicians routinely talk about this office should be filled by an African American. During the Obama Senate appointment process, there was open discussion about should an African American be appointed to fill that seat because obviously Barack Obama is African American. Should it, right. that lineage continue, if you will?
Oh, that's why there's talk of Oprah too.
Well, I mean, Valerie
Jarrett,
others, but the point is, this is like playing racial politics. That is played out openly and notoriously in Chicago, isn't it? Am I missing something?
312-642-5600 is our Turnkey.pro answer line, and then. I don't know if they were joking around, but they suggested somebody to fill the Senate seat. You ready for this? Remember this guy?
Good.
Hey, how about this one? God, if I knew for sure I wasn't running again.
Yeah.
How about Reverend Wright?
Oh, my God. Bill Ayers.
Yeah. No, how about
Bill Ayers.
Reverend Wright there? I bet you he'd take it.
Hilarious.
Huh? Would that be funny?
Hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Right there on the Senate floor. It's not God bless America. It's God America. When Barack was at Sunday school, I used to tell him.
I mean, I got to tell you, I wouldn't vote for either one of those two clowns in a million years. Okay.
Yeah.
And we've had our debates about Blagojevich, whether his sentence was too stiff, and I don't think it was.
It is, yes.
And I like both of those guys better from just hearing that exchange about Jeremiah Wright and Bill Ayers. It actually sounded like human beings for a change. Oh, my gosh. Mike in Union, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, everybody. This is quality entertainment. I love when liberals pick on liberals, whether there's an R next to their name or not.
Oh,
you guys there?
Hey, Mike. Oh, yeah, we just picked you up, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is quality entertainment when liberals start taking apart other liberals, whether there's an R next to his name, and who knows if a Republican or a conservative of anything Rauner's speaking to, but this is quality. I hope he stays in the race the whole time, and And I just want to thank him for helping Jeanne Ives win the governorship. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Mike.
Do you think this will be used? I mean, of course, Ronner's people are looking all over this. Do you think they'll be used? That any of that audio will be used in an ad against Pritzker, or is it too mundane?
I don't know. I mean, he's leveling up probably the most popular politician in the state for a Senate seat. I mean, he's saying Jesse White is, and his comment on Emil Jones being less senatorial than Jesse White is not inaccurate.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't really hear anything that when he's angling for himself in the previous calls.
Yeah, to be
that comes,
state treasurer.
Yeah, that comes across as more slimy. I think that has political value. I'm not sure this has much political value.
But it's funny.
Who's rallying to the defense of Jeremiah Wright or Bill Ayers? Pete in Montgomery, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Morning, Dan. Morning, Amy. So I'm going to be voting for Jeanne Ives regardless. There's no way I'd vote for J.B. Pritzker, but I have absolutely no problem with this kind of discussion. It's a strategic discussion between politicians, and politics is strategy. So this is just a nothing burger, to quote other idiots.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Pete. I agree with you. And look, this is a conversation. What you're hearing there, other than the ridiculing of Reverend Wright and so forth, is the same discussion you'll hear on a Friday night panel on Chicago Tonight.
Okay.
I mean, it really is talking about weighing the merits of potential candidates in a political context. Everything is viewed through a political prism. Of course, it is. So I don't know, but I'm glad they released the audio.
I found it riveting. I listened to the whole thing. And I wanted to listen to it again because it's just the inner workings of Chicago politics.
It's
a great insight into it.
And I'll tell you what, I can't wait to hear what they had to say about Roland Burris, since that was the ultimate decision. I can't wait to hear what they chatted about with respect to that. But
remember when we had Senator Burris on?
Sure.
Rolly the Boo, and he handed out his home phone number because he was hawking his new book.
Yeah.
Well, he could get a publicist or maybe an intern to help him.
And you know what? The other thing I wish?
What?
I wish he would have gone with Bill Ayers.
Oh, my God.
Why not? That would have actually been a fair representation of where the Democrat Party is in the 21st century. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Signature Bank, kicking off our Signature Bank business tour.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, what's so offensive, says candidate Jeanne Ives. We'll explain, but first here is your forecast. It's cloudy today, not as cold, still chilly out, but we're going to get to a high of 19 degrees. It's 6 degrees right now at O'Hare. Tonight, some snow, 1 to 2 inches, a low of 12. And for tomorrow, no snow, just clouds, breaking for some sun by the afternoon, and a high of 22 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Any spinouts on the roadways? Here's Jim Telemonte.
Lots of them this morning. Amy, good morning, Dan. We had a crash on the inbound ride at 83rd. It's now moved out of the way, but the damage is done. Inbound I-57, it's 41 minutes. I-80 to the Rhine. Bishop Ford 50 with the jam starting at 130th. Those delays continue to 83rd Street. Then on the Rhine, it's heavy there. Also from 79th Skyway and Cermak to the Circles with 50 minutes. 95th to downtown. Outbound 15. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Hook to the Junction. Kennedy, 24 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 29. On Ike, 45 minutes now, 390 to downtown, outbound 31. On Stevenson, 42 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 38. Mild delays, northbound Tri-State, eastbound Adams Tollway and Reagan Tollway, and we have a big delay on westbound 8094, Broadway to Burr, crash in the right lane. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
The American economy has come roaring back to life, although you wouldn't know it with the cratering the Dow took yesterday. After years of stagnation, American businesses are finally thriving again as the economic climate continues to improve. Are you a business owner who's part of this great American comeback? If so, we want to hear from you. Once again, we're taking the show out on the road, and we're starting today here at Signature Bank in Edison Park. And we'll be broadcasting from Chicagoland businesses that are enjoying success in the current business environment. We want to hear your story, share your successes, and find out what makes your business run. It's the Signature Bank Business Tour. To submit your business for consideration, just go to 560theanswer.com/business, 560theanswer.com/business, and we might be broadcasting at your location in the near future.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Year after every new year, you make the same resolutions for yourself, hoping that one of these times they just might stick. You know, the whole new year, new you thing. You're gonna lose weight, quit smoking, eat better, find the love of your life. Well, best of luck to you. How about a resolution that can really happen? One for your business's computer and IT network. It's a goal that can be accomplished and realized instantly with the help of Turnkey IT. 2018 is poised for growth. You can't afford to let your business become sidetracked by poor IT assistance or dated computer hardware or software. Remember, in the changing world of IT, what you upgraded a few years ago may not cut it in the new year. One of the biggest parts of your business infrastructure is your IT network, and if that's not right, the impact can cost you a lot of money. Make your resolution today. Be ready to handle the growth expected in 2018 with your business backbone supported by Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy coming to you live from Signature Bank in Edison Park, kicking off our Signature Bank Business Tour this year. So we were talking about J.B. Pritzker and Blagojevich, their banter, their pillow talk. And now the other side of the aisle, the Republican primary for governor, Jeanne Ives. She addressed the City Club yesterday, laid out her policy vision, and also addressed the ad that has generated some hysteria from the customary sources that you would expect hysteria when it comes to issues like sanctuary state and issues like bailing out Exelon and issues like bailing out CPS teacher pensions and issues like taxpayer funding of abortions and issues like grown men in the bathrooms and locker rooms of women.
Mm-hmm. And that's that part of the campaign ad, I think, struck a nerve with a lot of Chicagoans who thought that, oh, look at that. That's disgusting and that's embarrassing for real transgender people. But what the facts of what she said were true. And yesterday she came out and defended her campaign ad.
I want to know why people are so offended by it. What's offensive about the ad?
And she let it just hang there.
312-642-5600.
What the commercial?
Sorry. Third time's a charm, Dan.
312-642-5600, Turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, Turnkey.pro text line if you want to answer the rhetorical question Ives posed.
What the commercial that is generating the expected hysteria from the expected quarters attempted to do, admittedly, provocatively, was to properly and truthfully characterize the extreme issue positions Rauner took and their implications.
Well, there's no question about that. Again, we've mentioned this yesterday, but you're talking about, on these issues, 73 of 73 Republicans voted against public funding of abortion. 67 of 73 legislative Republicans voted against sanctuary state. 67 of 73 Republicans voted against his trans birth certificate bill. 45 of 73 Republicans voted against the Exelon bailout jacking electricity bills, largest increase in U.S. history. So it is Rauner who has the extreme agenda. It is Rauner who divided the party by pursuing this extreme radical left social agenda and crony bailouts. And the media is so taken with itself, the left media in Chicago and around the state, is so taken with itself on this issue because they don't cover these issues. They don't. So this is the first time they've been forced to actually have the discussion on these issues where actual people live and what most Republicans, the supermajority of Republicans, per their elected representatives in the General Assembly, think about them. Now, we can quibble with the artistic presentation of the facts, but it's the truth laid bare.
Well, Jeanne Ives made no apologies, and she did a good point, I thought, of saying that the commercial attacks the issues again and not the people.
Rauner chose the political agenda of the LGBTQ movement over the privacy interests of moms and dads who don't want their daughters forced to be in the same bathrooms and locker rooms as men.
I mean, she's standing up for, there's a lot of parents out there, and some are vocal and some, are closet supporters of not having transgender students in locker rooms.
It's north of a 70% issue in the general electorate.
Really?
People don't want to talk about it because they don't want to face the hysteria that Jeanne Ives is facing from the usual suspects. They just don't want to deal with it. I understand that. But thankfully, Ives has the courage to speak the truth and take the slings and arrows associated with speaking the truth in this climate. But that's where it is. And let me tell you something. You saw this New York Post piece I referenced briefly yesterday when we were talking to Suzanne Banker. A father-daughter dance at an elementary school in Staten Island canceled because it wasn't gender-bender inclusive enough. So what I've said yesterday at City Club is, look, Paul and I, her husband, also a West Pointer, and our 5 kids, not how we raised them. We're not on board for this. I've got an elementary school daughter, and I'm not on board for this. And I don't want anybody else to be silenced. Everybody should be able to speak their piece, but I'm not going to be silenced either. And if people can't deal with that and they can't deal on the substance, all they have is the phobias and the isms in response, which is the last refuge of the intellectual scoundrel, then that's what they have. And people will make their own decisions. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line.
Governor Rauner finally responded.
It is shameful, it is ugly, it is hurtful. There's really no place for those sentiments in our society.
Yeah. But of course, the reporters didn't ask him, but you did do those things. We are a sanctuary state. Well, transgenders are allowed in, with the transgender birth certificate. Public funding for abortions is going on. Nobody question that.
No, well, that's because they don't want to talk about the policy. They just want to talk about their feelings and how offended or unoffended everybody is about it. This is why we have the worst governed state in the history of the country here, because it's all about emoting rather than making sensible policy consistent with stated values. Oh, by the way, stated party platform planks. I mean, Rauner is not everything he did runs counter to the stated Republican Party platform. So do you want Rauner's Republican Party or the Republican Party? That's the choice that Republican primary voters have to make. Do you want Rauner's Republican Party in this state, or do you want the Republican Party? And let me tell you something else about, I'll tell you what. Let me take Verlin. Verlin on the south side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I'd like to give a response to Jeanne Ives' ad, or to what Jeanne Ives said. Absolutely nothing's wrong with what she said. Absolutely nothing's wrong with the ad. And finally, Illinois will have a governor with backbone, and I'm damn proud.
Thank you, Verlin. Here's the other thing. What the press isn't asking, Rauner, either, because they're all on the same side. You said you were going to have no social agenda. You lied repeatedly, as evidenced by the bills you signed into law. In addition to that, weren't you the guy, along with your wife, who was a platinum sponsor of the Equality Illinois Gala on Saturday night? Was it you who I saw with Rahm Emanuel and Terry Cosgrove of Personal PAC, radical pro-abort organization, on Saturday night? Wasn't that you? They have a legislative agenda, does Equality Illinois, and it includes support for HB 1785, the trans birth certificate bill, which puts men in the girls' bathrooms and locker rooms. They have that political agenda. Rauner signed their legislation. He didn't take up, for example, Tom Morrison's legislation, 664, in the House, which he could have, conservative Republican Tom Morrison's legislation. So you do have an agenda, so you lied about that. And now let's talk about what that agenda has been and what it continues to be and what it will almost certainly continue to be if your still in the governor's office, or for the time remaining in the governor's office, because you won't be there after January of next year, one way or the other. I mean, nobody wants to talk about the substance of the record because they're so consumed with their own feelings, and it's just so easy to be indignant or to talk about my sensibility than it is to talk about these very difficult issues, particularly when they run counter to what people know to be right. And Jeanne Ives doesn't suffer fools, and she doesn't suffer that infirmity of speaking the truth in spite of the criticism she will receive from Rauner and his surrender Republican mouthpieces, or the Chicago Press Corps, which is almost a which is
extension of the party.
Well, it's an extension of the other party, which obviously is even more hysterical than the surrender Republicans in our party. By the way, this is how you have surrender Republicans on every issue, including fiscal issues. It's this culture, the Rauner Republican Party, that gives you 15 House Republicans that surrender to Mike Madigan on the largest structural tax increase in Illinois history, the 32% income tax increase, which could not have been passed.
If not for those 15 Republicans.
Completely.
Well,
so
what did they get in exchange? Well, 9 of them, what? Aren't 9 not running?
9 retired because they knew they were going to face primary challenges. It's me and people I'm affiliated with that provide the accountability mechanism for bad actors in the Republican Party, not the Republican Party, not Rauner's Republican Party. So I ask again, do you want the surrender Rauner Republican Party in Illinois, which is a shadow of the Democrats, or do you want a conservative Republican Party? That's the choice for Republican primary voters. Phil in Itasca, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan. I think this is what frustrates people about the party system. Why can't they throw him out of the Republican Party? If he's so far off,
because he has a
then
checkbook.
why is he? Okay, then why call the Republican? So that's it? So it's all about money. It's never about policy on either side.
Correct.
Is it?
Yes.
Then again, I guess I'll keep going with my thought. Why bother voting? 'Cause
Well,
it's not about policy.
it is for these people. It is for the Rauners and the Rauner acolytes and the paid Rauner mouthpieces. It's not for everybody in the party. It's not for me. It's not for Jeanne Ives. It's not for a lot of people that are supporting Jeanne Ives. That's the whole point. Is you actually have a choice this time.
I get that, but why can't you, as the people of that party, come together and say, "Hey, we're not standing for this. You can run, but you're going to have to run either as in some other party because you can't run as a Republican."
Yeah, thanks for the call, Phil.
I think it's a little too late for that.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, it's not about excommunicating anybody. It's about clarifying what the Republican Party is going to be. I'm not interested in excommunicating anybody from the party. I know people are interested in excommunicating me. That's fine, whatever.
Do you want to talk about it?
No, I don't care.
How do you feel about that?
I don't care what people who are going to sell their souls for 30 pieces of silver think about me or think about these positions. I don't care about people who are so intellectually vacuous and dishonest that all they can do is provide ad hominem because they can't deal with the substance of the matter at hand, and that's what we're talking about here. So it's not about excommunicating people. It's about putting it to the people. 800,000 Republican primary voters, give or take, will make a decision on March 20th about what kind of Republican Party they want to be a part of, what kind of Republican nominee they're going to have for governor, as well as up and down the ballot for state legislative offices as well. And that will chart the future of Illinois. And the future is either going to start to get a little bit brighter or it's going to get much darker much more quickly. And that's the choice. I mean, look, people want to run screaming off a cliff. You can't stop them. You can just say, by the way, the edge of the cliff is right there. You don't want to do that. If they're intent on doing it, then they're going to do it. And we're going to find out. And what the Ives candidacy is doing is clarifying that for people. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Signature Bank, kicking off our Signature Bank business tour today.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk Trump treason.
Treason?
Well, he's accusing the Democrats of treason, tongue-in-cheek, as well as dossier dose.
And the memo's on his desk, the Democratic memo. Will President Trump release it? He has 5 days. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
6 degrees above. White House says the basics of the U.S. economy are strong in spite of yesterday's stock market drop. Economic analyst Steve Ratner says he believes White House policies are at least partially responsible for the plunge.
While we definitely need tax reform in this country, you could make an argument that a stimulative tax cut of this sort that was going to raise the deficit at this point in the economic cycle, with unemployment this low, was a little bit like putting gasoline on a fire.
However, many analysts disagree, saying it's the pending interest rates increases, as many as 3 others this year, that right now are causing the uncertainty in the markets. The Dow did lose 1,175. Asian markets closed down. The European market spending the day lower. The White House will now decide whether to release a new document challenging portions of a Republican House Intelligence Committee memo that alleges intelligence gathering abuses. In Ohio yesterday, the president said that GOP memo was detective work.
But did we catch them in the act or what? You know what I'm talking. Oh, did we catch them in the act? They are very embarrassed. They never thought they were going to get caught. We caught them.
Democrats say the GOP memo is misleading. The NTSB denies there are systemic issues with Amtrak even after Sunday's crash in South Carolina, which marked the 4th fatal Amtrak crash in 2 months.
Are we willing to say that there's a systemic issue with Amtrak? No, we're not. We're not willing to look at that as it relates to this accident.
NTSB Chairman Robert Sumwalt. Colorado deputy and auto theft suspect are both dead following a shooting.
Deputy Micah Flick, 34 years old, was shot in the line of duty and has died. Micah is survived by his wife and 7-year-old twins. Today was his 11th anniversary with the sheriff's office.
El Paso County Sheriff Bill Elder says a civilian, 2 other deputies, and a police officer were also shot. Small winter storm that blew through Chicago prompted airlines to cancel more than 600 flights at the city's 2 airports. Plows were clearing runways overnight, so call ahead on that flight for this morning. Our meteorologist Kevin Snyder says heavy snow started falling about 3 p.m. As much as 6 inches fell across the southern portions of our listen area by late Monday night, and more snow is expected during this work week. 2 are dead following a fire on Chicago's west side. Chicago Fire tells us the blaze broke out this morning early inside of an apartment building near Wilcox and Pulaski. Actor John Mahoney is dead at the age of 77. Perhaps best known as Martin Crane, the tough-talking ex-police father of Frazier Crane in that sitcom.
Yeah, you look great.
Don't BS me. I do not look great. I spent Monday on the bathroom floor. You can still see the tile marks on my face.
Frazier ran for 11 seasons. Mahoney had big roles also in Burn Notice and Hot in Cleveland. He did not get into professional acting until his late 30s, thanks to a push from John Malkovich. Chicago sports: Kings rebounded from a 9-point first quarter to beat the Bulls, 104-98. Blackhawks and Flames closing out a home-and-home tonight at the UC. The news service of Accountemps: finding highly skilled accounting and finance pros can be a challenge. Accountemps can help. With Accountemps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors, you can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps is a Robert Half company. 6:35, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
See the nation's largest auto show at McCormick Place, February 10th through the 19th. Log on to ChicagoAutoShow.com for details and download the official Auto Show app.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. Period.
No, Mr. Obama, we can't. That was the 2013 PolitiFact lie of the year. In 2017, Blue Cross canceled 97% of their policies. Because your 2017 Blue Cross policy was canceled, you're still eligible to purchase a new plan under special enrollment until March 1st, even though Obamacare open enrollment has ended. And depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. Better yet, the Obamacare mandate will be repealed thanks to President Trump, so you'll no longer be fined by the IRS for purchasing lower-priced, short-term plans. There's no one better to help you navigate the Obamacare maze than C. Stephen Tucker. He's a 20-year licensed broker who I know and trust, who's been educating listeners for more than 6 years. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551. 1551.
Safety. It's so important at your industrial facility. You need to keep your personnel safe and meet OSHA requirements. One problem with your ladders, platforms, or safety guards, and you could be facing costly fines. Vans Industrial helps you meet OSHA standards to keep your employees safe.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. As a business owner, I realize the importance of keeping my employees safe, and I'm here to offer my expertise. Vans Industrial is a specialty contractor uniquely equipped to design, fabricate, and install safety equipment, including walkways, handrails, stairways, and machinery guards. Our Vans Industrial team can inspect existing systems, engineer solutions, fabricate quality goods, and install them with trained pros, all making a safer environment for your employees.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
It is 6:38, and let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Mike, buckle up for a long commute, especially on the south side. Inbound ride at 83rd, crash is gone, but it's 50 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 41 minutes. I-80 to the ride, Bishop Ford, an hour. 80-94 to merge. Edens is 27 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 19. It's heavy on the eastbound spur starting at Waukegan Road. Kennedy, looking at 35 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 33. Eisenhower, 56 minutes, 390 to the Circle, 33 from Manheim, outbound 31 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38 minutes. Northbound Tri-States, though, 95th to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Eastbound Adams Tollway, really messy, and stop and go from 59 to 53, and Manheim to the River Road Toll. Reagan Tollway delays, Winfield to 53 and 83 to the Tri-State. Westbound 80-94 is a solid mess. I-65 decline. Traffic, service of Staples. Staples has low prices on the organizational solutions your business needs to clear the clutter and focus on the job at hand this year. Like bankers' boxes, file folders, storage bins. Less mess equals more success. Visit Staples.com for more. Staples, it's pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy, not as cold, 19 today. More snow overnight. 1 to 2 inches will fall, a low of 12. It is 3 above at O'Hare, 11 above along the lakefront. Just the reverse in Aurora this morning. 11 below with a wind chill of minus 25 and some icy fog. Your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Tasty Catering. Great events start with really great catering professionals. TastyCatering.com.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Here we are again. Will the government shut down this week? I hope it does. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're coming to you live from Signature Bank. We're kicking off our Signature Bank business tour today, as we've done the last couple of years. So we'll be visiting businesses over the next several weeks around the Chicagoland area and talking to them about how they're maintaining their businesses and growing their businesses and being successful in spite of the hostile business climate in this state. Also, we had President Trump yesterday. He was at a manufacturing facility in Ohio, speaking of business, and he wasn't so focused on talking about the Nunes memo or the pending release of the response to the Nunes memo, the Schiff memo that the House Intel Committee approved unanimously to release yesterday. So now the president has 5 days to act on it. Otherwise, it will be made public. And it's interesting to note, again, the Democrats wanted to release nothing, and Republicans are happy to release everything, both memos. So just a very different approach as it pertains to transparency, with all of the questions swirling around the FBI and the DOJ and the Russian collusion investigation, for that matter. But the president wasn't so focused on talking about any of the memos or the Russian collusion investigation.
No.
He was more focused on his performance.
Well, yeah.
At State of the Union address.
And he was mad that African-American congressional members sat on their hands when he was talking about the lowest unemployment rate ever for African-Americans.
Well, I don't think he was mad. I think he was just remarking upon it, that it was worth noting how they didn't stand up to applaud good news.
So that means they would rather see Trump do badly, okay, than our country do well. That's what it means. It's very selfish. And it got to a point where I really didn't even want to look too much during the speech over to that side, because honestly, it was bad energy. No, it was bad energy. You're up there. You've got half the room going totally crazy, wild. They loved everything. They want to do something great for our country. And you have the other side, even on positive news, really positive news like that, they were like death and un-American. Un-American. Somebody said treasonous. I mean, yeah, I guess why not? You know, can we call that treason? Why not? I mean, they certainly didn't love our country very much. But you look at that, and it's really very, very sad.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Is this an egregious act of McCarthyism on the part of the President of the United States, accusing the Democrats of treason for not standing and applauding the good news? Or is this just Trump the showman on the stump? We'll take your calls, Amy.
Well, treason is punishable by firing, death by firing squad.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, the left is freaking out. No, honestly, they're like, their hair is on fire that he said that treason. It wasn't treasonous. This, you know what happens? If there's President Obama speaking, Republicans sit. When Bill Clinton was speaking, Republicans sat. That's just what they do at State of the Union addresses.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, and also they've used the word treasonous before, too. I mean, this is the overheated rhetoric in politics, and, of course, the flippancy of Trump. I mean, somebody yells out treasonous, and he says, well, you know, okay. I mean, that's just Trump off the cuff, Trump unplugged. Dan McLaughlin over at National Review did a little bit of review for us, so we have some institutional knowledge on the topic, which is helpful. March 2009, on Tuesday, liberal talk show host Stephanie Miller called Rush Limbaugh's now well-publicized statement about wanting Barack Obama to fail treasonous and wondered if he should be executed for saying such a thing. Remember that?
Yeah,
I do.
Okay.
2009, Paul Krugman on Republicans opposing a climate change bill. This is Krugman. As I watched the deniers make their arguments, I couldn't help thinking that I was watching a form of treason against the planet. Is it fair to call climate denial a form of treason? Isn't it politics as usual? Yes, it is, and that's why it's unforgivable. August 2011, Vice President Joe Biden joining House Democrats in lashing Tea Party Republicans, accusing them of having, quote, acted like terrorists, unquote, in the fight over raising the nation's debt limit. This small group of terrorists have made it impossible to spend any money. They have acted like terrorists, said Joe Biden. I could go on and on, but I think you get the point that these words have become rendered relatively, pedestrian because of overuse and misapplication. What Trump said is certainly a misapplication of it, but I also thought it was him being flippant, not being serious.
Yeah, and he was playing to the crowd. He's playing to his base. But also, do you know who Democratic Senator Whitehouse is?
Sheldon Whitehouse.
Sheldon responded.
Maybe he's been watching too much North Korean television, where everybody in the North Korean assembly stands up and they all clap together automatically whenever the dear leader says something. That's not the way America works.
I mean, relax. Everybody needs to calm down.
No, you're right. It wasn't like you must applaud when
right.
I want you to applaud. This is objectively good news, isn't it? I mean, the response to Sheldon Whitehouse, or the follow-up question would be, isn't what Trump is referencing objectively good news? The black unemployment rate at historic low.
Right, and they looked like fools themselves, just sitting there. You know, the Black Caucus members just sitting there, and they looked so like they were passing gas or something. It was very unpleasant.
Okay, well, that was an unpleasant
comment,
simile choice. Okay, so. The other thing, too, remember, you had that one family, well, both families, but one family spoke out about it, that didn't appreciate the fact that members of the Black Caucus and the Democrat side of the aisle didn't respect them when the president mentioned their daughters that were murdered by MS-13 gang members. And the Republicans, when they were recognized, Republicans stood and applauded them out of respect for their loss, and the Democrats sat on their hands. And you had one of the daughters who was killed, one of the young women who was killed, her parents publicly said they didn't find it. They thought that was disrespectful. And they were African Americans
too. I mean, you think on some level that they would stand up and respect, somebody from their own neighborhood, and they didn't do that.
Jim in Downers Grove, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, morning, folks. It's a brilliant move. It would have already died off by him keeping it alive like this. Next, 2 years he can use it in his campaign, and it'll go over very, very well. The longer he keep it going, the better off it is for him. And he's going to claim he didn't bring it up.
Thanks for the call, Jim. Appreciate it. So, this will be one of the controversies of this cycle. And this cycle, I mean the next 24 hours.
Right.
And then it'll dissipate into the ether, and we'll get back to talking about things like perhaps corruption at the senior level of the FBI. For example, just getting back to that for a moment.
Yeah.
There's been more people, including James Fitzgerald, we had on the show yesterday, willing to speak out against Jim Comey. James Fitzgerald, the great FBI profiler in the Unabomber case, he told us yesterday on the show basically that what you had was a cabal at the top of the FBI that was interested in taking the opportunities to pursue their ideological and political ends. I thought that was a rather remarkable statement. Well, complementing that remarkable statement, you had former Special Agent Chris Swecker, who was on Fox yesterday, and he had this to say about Jim Comey and that same cabal in the senior leadership level of the FBI that James Fitzgerald spoke about.
What we're talking about here is a breakdown in the senior leadership of the FBI under Jim Comey and Andy McCabe as deputy director. I would hate for the public to think that the FBI as an institution is flawed or biased. What this is a very small inner circle of senior leadership under Jim Comey at a very critical time period. And I just don't want this to reflect on the 35,000 the excellent men and women of the FBI who are doing a great job every day.
Nor should it, but it's certainly good to have people addressing the sanctimonious Jim Comey. And Swecker is particularly interesting because he served under Louis Freeh and Bob Mueller, as well as Comey. So he can do a little comparison contrast on the three leaders of the FBI.
You have to excuse me. I'm looking at James Comey's Instagram account to see if he published anything.
Yeah.
He hasn't since he published. I got to got to dress up for a family event tonight. Was proud to wear my FBI cufflinks.
He's fascinating.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Like it.
Well, I had the perspective of serving directly under Director Mueller. I bet I sat in on 500-plus meetings with him and Director Freeh. And these were two great leaders. They stayed in the background. I never saw a hint of bias. Unfortunately, under Jim Comey, that hubris that you just mentioned caused him to make up his own rules. Leaks, permissive leak environment, predetermining investigations, a non-investigation of the Clinton email investigation, thumb on the scale on the Russian investigation in the beginning here with the FISA applications, and just generally making up their own rules and letting their own political opinions infect their investigation. In fact, that is something you learn at the FBI Academy. You can't let your personal bias, you got to leave those at home. If not, you need to be in another line of business.
I mean, it is really remarkable the things you're hearing from some people with a long record at the FBI about Jim Comey, as more and more evidence is unearthed and presented for public scrutiny. And frankly, thanks to Republicans, that's happening. Adam Schiff and Democrats, you want to make your arguments? You want to respond to what we now are learning to be true? Go ahead. Let's have it out. Let's have it out right in the public arena for everybody to see. This is good. This is how it should be in a free society. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Signature Bank, kicking off our Signature Bank business tour.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Keith Peters in for Lou Dobbs. All eyes are on Wall Street today. Congress races to avert another shutdown. January's service sector activity broke records. Those stories next.
You like freedom? I do. You like money? Well, I do too. If you like freedom and money, then you're going to love Freedom Checks. You see, over the next few months, an estimated $34.6 billion is up for grabs to anyone who stakes their claim. Yep, you heard that right, $34.6 billion. To get all the details, just go to www.myfreedomchecks.com. Thousands of people are already lined up to cash in. Take Doug, for example. He's a 46-year-old from Joplin, Missouri, who's set to get a check for $24,075. And if Doug can do this, I've got a hunch that you can too. But here's the thing. If you want the chance to grab your full fair share of this $34.6 billion payout, you must have your ducks in a row by March 1st. So don't wait. Get over to www.myfreedomchecks.com before the March 1st deadline. That's www.myfreedomchecks.com.
After yesterday's second straight trading day of plunges in the Dow, investors are looking for clues as Tuesday unfolds. Given the strength of the economy and the sustained upswing in share prices, one analyst says the recent sell-offs in the larger scheme of things are no big deal. But psychologically, the impact on Wall Street is very real. 2 days to go until the federal government runs out of money again. Leaders of both parties in Congress are racing to avert another shutdown, but remain deadlocked on the issue of illegal immigrants brought to America as children. Wall Street notwithstanding, the services sector activity in the U.S. was at its highest level in 12.5 years in January. Wages in 2017 were also highest. Please join us for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. I'm Keith Peters for the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
No more excuses, gentlemen. It's a new year. It's time to do the things you've been putting off, especially when it comes to taking care of your health. I personally recommend visiting my friends at Low T Center. It's where I got my levels tested. They make it quick and easy. You walk in, you take a simple blood test, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, you know your results in about 20 minutes. At Low T Center, their physicians exclusively diagnose and treat men with low T. If you do have low T, it can make you feel tired and grumpy, can raise your cholesterol levels and cause weight gain, and cause you to lose muscle mass. If this is something you've been experiencing, you should go get your testosterone levels checked. Guys, take the first step this new year. Contact my friends at Low T Center, now with a location in downtown Chicago on the Mag Mile at 625 North Michigan Avenue. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's me. 312-239-3427 is the number. Call 312-239-3427 or visit them online at lowtcenter.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was always just sort of feeling tired. And so I said, maybe this will just help in overall vitality. But in the past couple of years that I've been taking it, I find my energy has been great. I've been sleeping better. I don't get the cravings for junk food as often as I used to. I really attribute it to the product. It's so easy to use. Even if I want to take a capsule for my daughter and I just pull it apart to mix it in some juice or something, it's just something I'm very grateful to be able to incorporate. I really love the product. I think it's made such a difference.
Generally feel better, generally have better energy and more stamina. Breathing is easier, walking is easier. You're not in pain anymore, all right? I could go on and on.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Amanda Zanger, owner of Black Industrial and Safety Supply in Hammond, Indiana, and a business customer of Signature Bank. Prior to owning my own business, I worked for a major financial institution. So when it came time to finance the acquisition of Black, I approached a big bank, only to receive a solid no. That's when Signature Bank stepped in. With Signature Bank, the process was different. Signature provided creative financing options that enabled me to purchase Black and continue to grow the business. Thanks to Signature Bank, Black Industrial is able to continue serving Fortune 500 industry fabricators and contractors with tools and safety supplies as we have since 1893.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal housing lender.
Nobody should have to live with depression. Not anymore.
It's a new year. Time for a new you.
Abilify, Wellbutrin, Seroquel, Rexulti. These are common drugs prescribed for depression. You may be able to get off the drugs and the endless counseling. You've heard about the revolutionary TMS therapy.
Now it's time to get a free consultation from HPR centers.
End your frustration with life and relationships. In a few short weeks, your life will change. It's FDA cleared, safe, and it's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare. TMS therapy treats the cause of your depression. Millions have been treated. The results, nothing short of outstanding. HPR centers are proud to bring TMS therapy to Chicagoland and Milwaukee.
You need to take the first step. Call.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. The left is so accomplished in sensationalizing and rewriting history because they so doggedly sensationalize and rewrite the present. The Nunez memo is one of the better case studies in recent memory. We have sanctimonious gasbag Jim Comey complaining about weasels and liars, translation, House Republicans, for fulfilling their oversight responsibilities of the FBI, reminding us that there aren't a lot of schools or streets named after Joe McCarthy. That's something Comey will have in common with McCarthy. We have John Heilman, one of MSNBC's Russian collusion bots, suggesting that Paul Ryan is a Russian agent. Because Paul Ryan agrees that the Nunez memo should be released, you see, that puts Ryan on Team Nunez, which puts him on Team Trump, which puts him on Team Russia, which puts John Heilman in a 1959 Richard Condon novel because he's living in a fictional world. We have a DC press corps from a bygone era presently being feted on the silver screen for unearthing government secrets, while their descendants decry the notion of being handed a tidy summary of the same. We have Beltway big government guerrillas who will say and do, or not say and not do, whatever is required to achieve their singular end, the end of Trump.
What interest rate would you rather pay on your credit card debt? 17% or less than 6% APR? The answer is obvious, Lightstream. Because with Lightstream, you may be able to consolidate credit card debt and dramatically cut your interest rate to as low as 5.49% APR with AutoPay. Plus, radio listeners get an additional rate discount. Just go to lightstream.com/news. With average interest rates on credit card debt at 17% APR, Lightstream could save you thousands in interest. And because Lightstream is a division of SunTrust Bank, one of the nation's largest and strongest financial institutions, you can have complete peace of mind. The application takes just minutes, and there are no fees and no pressure. Just lower rates, one low fixed monthly payment, and huge savings. So if you have good to excellent credit, apply today and get a special interest rate discount when you go to lightstream.com/news. That's lightstream.com/news. Lightstream.com/news.
Subject to credit approval. Rates include 0.5% autopay discount available only when you select autopay prior to loan funding. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com for important information about limits on Lightstream loans.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
The stock market roller coaster appears ready for another big drop. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Futures are down this morning.
A, the sky is not falling. B, there is no economic catastrophe on the horizon.
Fox Business Network Stuart Varney after the Dow lost 1,840 points the last two trading days.
We were due. The market has gone straight up ever since the election of Donald Trump.
Markets overseas are also plunging, down 5% in Asia, more than 2% in Europe. President Trump's been touting the stock market surge. The White House says long-term economic fundamentals remain exceptionally strong. Yesterday in Ohio, the president criticized Democrats for not cheering positive news about the country during his State of the Union address.
Un-American. Somebody said treasonous. I mean, yeah, I guess why not?
Now we're waiting on him to approve the release of the Democratic rebuttal to the Republican memo. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, Americans could see the 10-page rebuttal memo within days if the president allows its release. Adam Schiff, the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, doesn't think the president will block the memo.
I am more concerned that they make political redactions, not redactions to protect sources and methods.
Democrats say their memo clears up what they call distortions and inaccuracies in the Republican memo, which alleges the FBI and the Justice Department used an anti-Trump dossier to obtain a FISA warrant to spy on Carter Page, who worked on the Trump campaign.
Dave.
Rachel, weeks after President Trump said he looks forward to being interviewed in the special counsel's Russia probe, which he calls a witch hunt, the New York Times reports his lawyers are advising the president not to talk to investigators. Steve Bannon won't be talking today.
Fox News has learned White House Chief Strategist Steve Bannon will not appear for a second time before the House Intelligence Committee. Bannon's legal team tells Fox there are concerns over, quote, privilege, which he exercised during his initial appearance before the committee.
Fox's Sean Langell. Republicans and Democrats on the committee say no such executive privilege exists for Bannon. Fox News, fair and balanced.
6 degrees above at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. While a little warmer along the lakefront this morning, it is bitterly cold in Aurora, where it is minus 11 with wind chills in the minus 20s. The small winter storm that blew through Chicago last night prompted airlines to cancel more than 600 flights. Our meteorologist Kevin Snyder said the heavy snow began falling Monday afternoon around 3, and as much as 6 inches fell across southern portions of our listening area, and more snow is on the way for much of the work week and weekend. 2 elderly people are dead following a fire on Chicago's west side. The blaze broke out early this morning inside of an apartment building near Wilcox and Pulaski, the cause under investigation. Republican candidate for governor Jeanne Ives says her contentious campaign ad against Governor Bruce Rauner is an accurate representation of policies her rival has endorsed. The state rep from Wheaton addressed the City Club yesterday. The Republican Party chairman urged her to remove that ad. New Chicago Police Task Force is working to combat a rise in carjackings in the city. Chief Noel Sanchez spoke yesterday after the newly announced task force met for the first time.
We're frustrated just as well as you guys are because we're doing the job. It shows by the number of arrests that we're doing.
The unit now includes members of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and the FBI. After nearly 4 years of construction, work on the CTA's Red Line Wilson station is officially over, and the station is open, says AM 560's David Stewart.
Standing with CTA officials and uptown business owners, Mayor Emanuel cut a ribbon to reopen the 100-year-old station. Emanuel says the new station will also enhance the economic revitalization of the nearby neighborhood.
We have a new Truman College facility, the new, obviously, train station here, the improvement of the roads efforts here, and also what's going to be the efforts we're making for the entertainment area just to the north.
The $200 million project made the station fully accessible with elevators and includes the restoration of the historic Gerber building underneath the station. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Kings over the Bulls, 104-98. Blackhawks and Flames at the UC later on tonight. College hoops, Northwestern hosting Michigan. And in the MAC, our Northern Illinois Huskies visit Toledo. The news is a service of Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket is so simple you can understand the details and be sure you're getting the right mortgage. Applies simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. Visit rocketmortgage.com today. Licensed in all 50 states, equal housing lender, and MLS number 3030. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
In just 1 year, the president has accomplished so much.
We have created 2.4 million new jobs. Unemployment claims have hit a 45-year low. We enacted the biggest tax cuts and reforms in American history.
Working toward one common goal.
To make America great again for all Americans.
What will the next 3 years look like? Follow the journey right here. AM 560, The Answer.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. The left is so accomplished in sensationalizing and rewriting history because they so doggedly sensationalize and rewrite the present. The Nunez memo is one of the better case studies in recent memory. We have sanctimonious gasbag Jim Comey complaining about weasels and liars, translation, House Republicans, for fulfilling their oversight responsibilities of the FBI, reminding us that there aren't a lot of schools or streets named after Joe McCarthy. That's something Comey will have in common with McCarthy. We have John Heilman, one of MSNBC's Russian collusion bots, suggesting that Paul Ryan is a Russian
Russian agent. Because Paul Ryan agrees that the Nunes memo should be released, you see, that puts Ryan on Team Nunes, which puts him on Team Trump, which puts him on Team Russia, which puts John Heilman in a 1959 Richard Condon novel because he's living in a fictional world. We have a D.C. press corps from a bygone era presently being feted on the silver screen for unearthing government secrets, while their descendants decry the notion of being handed a tidy summary of the same. We have Beltway big government guerrillas who will say and do, or not say and not do, whatever is required to achieve their singular end, the end of Trump.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. Experts warn of a stock market crash any day now, and you could lose 50% or more of your hard-earned savings again. But you don't have to lose a penny. There's a better, safer way to save for retirement, and you can learn about it in a free report. This method continues to grow your money even when the market tumbles. To get this free report, go to bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com. Bankonyourself.com.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Diana's hired with Indeed.
It just gives me so many more qualified applicants to choose from.
Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Rough sledding on the Eden Spur eastbound Waukegan Road to the Eden. So then it's 37 minutes from Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 25. Kennedy, 50 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 24 from Montrose, 18 in the Express. Outbound 23 minutes to Montrose, 45 to the airport in Bud Eisenhower. An hour and 4 minutes, 390 to downtown, 47 minutes from Mannheim, outbound 45 to 390. Northbound I-55 delays start at Weber, and it is an hour and 20 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 50 minutes from the Tri-State, outbound 43 minutes to 355. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown, I-57, 44 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Issue Ford, an hour and 5 minutes. Southbound Tri-State heavy, 176 to 22. Northbound 111th to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to past North Avenue. Eastbound Adams Tollway, messy from 59 to Roselle, and from the Tri-State to the Kennedy. Westbound Barrington Road to 59. Reagan Tollway slow 31 to 355 and 83 to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial, I-55 to the Reagan Tollway, the Army Trail toll to 290. Westbound 8094 is jammed. I-65 declined. Traffic answers when you need them most on Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today turning cloudy and bitterly cold with a high 18. Cold night with snow accumulating an inch or two. Untreated surfaces will be slippery. Low 12. Still cold tomorrow with cloud breaking for some sun. High 22. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
Currently 3 above at O'Hare, 11 along the lakefront, 6 below in Lansing, and 11 below with some icy fog in Aurora. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, and we are live at Signature Bank in Edison Park, kicking off our Signature Bank Business Tour 2018. Speaking of banks, wondering if there should be a wildcat run on banks to take all your money out, me take all my money out and put it under my mattress after the last couple of days in the market.
I'm sure they want to hear that around here.
Yeah, well, hey, it's tough.
Hi, I'm here. Give me all my money. I've got bags of cash.
I'm just saying. And then New York Times reporting Asian shares closed sharply lower, European markets down, so it could be another bloodletting in the market today. I need somebody to talk me back from the ledge, and to help us do that is Jim Urio, CNBC contributor. Jim, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
So, look, we have Steve Moore on the show. He says 4% GDP growth this year. We have we stanched regulation last year. We got tax cuts. Jim,
What's
But
happening to my
what
money?
You're trying to do here, what you're doing is what people always do, is they're trying to reason with the stampeding herd. Now, what back on Friday we had those unemployment numbers, and we saw that little tiny bit of inflation that worried the market. And what this meant to me was that there's a lot of good news that's been priced in, and a lot of people who've forgotten about the risk. And we saw that in the depressed levels of volatility in options over the last several months, several years really. And then all of a sudden everybody sticks their head up and says, wow, I have a few too many stocks on. And that's when the correction begins. Now, whatever started the stampede, whether it be a dog barking or a twig snapping, it doesn't matter at this point in time. It just the correction runs to where it's going to run. The difference between a correction and something that morphs into a real bear market is now the things that you said, which is that the fundamentals are actually improving. And if you listen to these earnings calls during this season, not only earnings good, but these people are very elated to be in a new regulatory and tax environment. So medium term, I'm not particularly worried. Could we lose 3 or 4 more % on this move while we try to find where the real bottom is? Sure.
Well, isn't the Dow up 33% since Election Day?
Yeah, and the S&P is up about 33% since Election Day. These are huge moves, but those are the reasons, Amy, why when we correct a lot. It's been a one-way street, and one thing we've learned throughout history is nothing ever moves in a one-way street.
And is it true, too, I was talking to somebody who's more knowledgeable about this than I am, somebody like you, and saying, look, one of the things you look at is institutional money's not going anywhere. This is a lot of mom and pa's wanting to take their gains and get out.
Well, because nobody rebalances. As years of bull markets happen, what you're supposed to do is each year assess what your risk tolerance is, sell a few stocks, buy a few bonds in really good years. Nobody does that. We always say down here, bulls can make money, bears can make money, but pigs get slaughtered. And the meaning of that is when you get greedy and you step outside of what your normal risk tolerance should be, that's when bad things happen. So now everybody goes, oh, wow, maybe I have a few too many stocks on, and people start heading to the exit. So it has no rhyme or reason once it begins other than market position, in my opinion anyway.
I don't know. I mean, you want to guess what happened, but could it have been the jobs report that was just released? Or
yeah.
Why?
The little thing that pushed us is that we believed that the economic picture is getting good, and there's still the overarching theme of low rates. Now, the market believed that the rates are going higher, but they're going higher at a very measured pace that the Fed determines. When we saw the number on Friday, there was a little bit of wage-driven inflation, and it just caused the question mark in people's head, well, maybe the Fed's going to have to tighten faster than they've told us. And then all of a sudden, everybody started heading for the exits. But again, that's a small reason to blame this whole 8, whatever the percentage correction is right now on that one thing is folly. What it really is people forgetting that there's risks in the market and then all of a sudden being reminded.
What's your view on cryptocurrencies with Bitcoin in free fall down under 7,000 now?
The whole thing was stupid from the beginning, and it's not just me saying it now, is that blockchain technology is this amazing, disruptive technology of the future. For some reason, Bitcoin was dubbed to be the proxy for that technology, but it really never made a ton of sense to me that because a lot of these cryptocurrencies, and I have a couple of them, I have for a few months, is there's different characteristics to each. So to have dubbed one winner, when the CME opened its futures contract and Bitcoin traded at over $20,000, to me that was absurd. Governments aren't going to like complete decentralization of the money supply. Governments like centralization. Clearly, they're susceptible to big hacks. I know that's only happened a couple different times, and they seem to have weathered the storm. But those two things alone can cause, in my opinion, these huge moves lower.
What about the play that's not exactly fully formed, at least in terms of public disclosure, but the play by Amazon and Berkshire and J.P. Morgan in the healthcare space?
Well, I want it to work. Some people have tried those things before, and it hasn't worked. And guys like you and I know, look at these things as cynical. But I mean, I'd love it if it worked. I don't think it will. What I'd love ultimately is government maybe not get out of healthcare 100%, but at least get most of the way out of healthcare. And that's what's the only thing that's really going to change that. But yeah, I hope to God it works.
Well, explain what you think that they're doing, because there's been some talk of it. Well, the combined, they've got 1 million employees, so it's essentially a consortium. But it seems to me it's a bigger play of rolling up healthcare and
kind of, you mentioned disruptive innovation, disrupting how we do health care and insurance in particular in this country to kind of do a better job of connecting consumer to provider, which the government hasn't been able to do because they're the middleman.
Of course. And anytime the government's become the middleman, they've done this poorly. And you think of higher education and you think of healthcare. Those are two great examples where the government decided they were going to fix it all, and here we are. So this, to me, when I see them self-insuring, I still wonder, and I admittedly do not know 100% about it. You probably know as much as me or more. And what I would say is that there's going to be some sort of healthcare providers along the way that are going to be involved in this. So it's not going to be a pure 100% self-insurance. I don't know that for sure, but that's the way I kind of, as I glossed over it. But to tell you the truth, I kind of dismissed it as, okay, I hope it works, but we got bigger fish to fry right now.
All right, so considering what happened in the Asian and European markets, what do you suspect will happen today?
Well, I actually think we're searching for a bottom. The futures markets right now are down like 17 handles, so it's not anything huge. They've been down far worse than that. My thinking is this, is if we can spend a couple days without making any new lows, which the low in the S&Ps is 25, let's call it 47, if we can spend a couple days without making new lows, then it might be safe to dip toes back in. Or if we have a pretty decent rally. So I'm thinking that this is mostly over. Because at the lows we were down 11.5%. So I believe it's mostly over, but I want some indication from the market before I jump back in.
I was so close to retirement.
Wait, oh,
I was this close. I needed another week. Another
Get
week
back
of
to work.
new
We
highs.
need you on the front line.
I would have been out. I'd been gone.
What do you think the average person lost in their 401k yesterday? 10,000?
Most people were too bulled up in stocks. So if the average person had 70% in stocks and they lost, 8% of their portfolio, so probably 5%. 5 to 6% of what their retirement money was, and that's probably a function of being too comfortable with stocks.
Now you tell me, Jim. Now you tell me. I want to ask you about one of my favorite whipping boys because he's like one of these celebrity entrepreneurs that's just a big welfare queen. I can't stand him.
How do you really feel?
So I'm talking, of course, about the guy who thinks the future is all about flamethrowers and pneumatic tubes, Elon Musk. It was interesting. The great Woz said, don't believe, even though he's a Tesla investor, don't believe anything that Elon Musk says. I don't believe Elon Musk anymore.
Well, when he starts talking crazy, I tend to tune him out. I do have Tesla as well, and I believe that's another disruptive technology. And Tesla, I hate when people think it should trade like a car company. It's a concept company that's trying to change things in the future, and I believe it has a chance of doing that, and that's why I'm in the stock. And I suggest when he starts talking about flamethrowers, I intentionally did not even read the article because it sounds like he's gone off the rails, and he's done that before with a few of his concepts, and I just concentrate on Tesla.
All right. Jim Urio and Woz feel the same way, two high-level thinkers. Jim Urio, CNBC contributor. Jim, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate your insights.
Thank you. See you guys.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, an NFL football player from Indianapolis is killed by somebody here illegally. Why does nobody care? But first, here's your forecast. We do have sunny skies out there. It will be chilly. It's about 8 degrees right now at O'Hare, going up to a high of 19 degrees. Tonight, the snow returns anywhere from a dusting to 2 inches. And then tomorrow, we're going to have mostly cloudy skies, highs in the lower 20s. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Well, tubes won't be saving our expressways anytime soon. The Eisenhower is now an hour and 12 minutes. 390 to downtown. It's 56 minutes from Mannheim. Outbound, a more routine 45 minutes to 390. Eden's 35 minutes. Lake Hook to the junction. Outbound 29. Kennedy, 50 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. A little quicker in the express. Outbound 45. Stevenson, an hour and 20 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 43 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, an hour and 5 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Southbound Tri-States, though, 21 to 22. Northbound, 127th to 31st. From the Reagan tollway to the Grand Avenue curve, the other tollways are very heavy as well. And westbound 8094 is a solid mess. I-65 to Klein Avenue. Westbound Indiana Toll Road from Portage Interchange to 94, it's heavy. Northbound I-65 from US 30 to 61st Avenue. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do each morning on this show. Long-form interviews in our Against the Current series featuring opinion leaders and policymakers. 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes at Only Opportunity Project about bad actors in public policy. My 60 Seconds of Sanity commentaries, as well as our podcast of our Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics. Don't forget our new series, Heart of the Matter, featuring professional women speaking collegially about the important issues of the day and their impacts on families and household budgets. And then our sister site, defendhomeowners.com, defendhomeowners.com. Get a free property tax report on your home, your specific home, so you understand how the highest property taxes in the nation are impacting your property value and where the money is going. And you can also help us participate in trying to get an advisory question on the 2018 ballot that would seek to change the way we do property taxation in Illinois to return your home equity and property value to you. All the property tax info, defendhomeowners.com. Everything else, upstream-ideas.com.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I had this crazy thing happen with my eyesight. I went back to get my contact lenses done, and my optometrist, and I'm 46, he said, "This is really weird, but your eyesight is better." I'm like, I can't believe it, but I think it's these vitamins I'm taking.
I'm a huge believer in the product. I've tried lots of stuff, and this is the only real thing that I've ever, because of all these comparisons with all the other stuff I've had, this is by far the best thing, and consistently.
We're so healthy now on the Balance of Nature. There's no words to say how well it works.
Doing good on it, really. I'm feeling my skin is softer, and I feel good.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, good morning. We're coming to you live from Signature Bank in Edison Park, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour 2018. And this terrible story that occurred on Sunday, reported a bit yesterday, more details today, and that is the story of the killing of Indianapolis Colts linebacker Edwin Jackson, as well as a 54-year-old Uber driver that was with him. Happening.
Yeah, it happened on I-70, and apparently Edwin Jackson wasn't feeling well, so he asked the Uber driver to pull over. Uber driver was helping him, and that's when they got hit by this man, this monster. He was here illegally, snuck into this country 3 times. He didn't have a driver's license. He tried to flee the scene of the accident, and he had a blood alcohol level of 0.15, nearly twice the legal limit.
He gave police the alias of Alex Cabrera Gonzalez after the crash and after he fled and was apprehended. Turns out he's actually 37-year-old Manuel Orrego Zavala, who is a citizen of Guatemala, previously deported on 2 occasions in 2007 and again in 2009. And now, despite all of the political rhetoric we hear from presidents for the last 30 years from both parties, members of Congress from both parties, we have yet another case that it's been largely just rhetoric, and that you have a bunch of people in positions of authority in political office that are not serious about protecting American families from predatory illegal immigrant criminals.
Well,
Yeah, and by the way, just to qualify again, this is not characterizing every illegal immigrant as a violent predator. This is saying we don't even take the time to distinguish between the two. We don't have a secure southern border so that we can distinguish between the two at the point of entry, and thus we get individuals like Mr. Oriega Zavala, who has a reckless disregard for human life, and 2 more people die because of it.
And don't forget the Uber driver, 50-year-old Jeffrey Monroe, devoted husband, father. He was an Uber driver to earn extra money so that he could take his wife on a vacation to celebrate their upcoming wedding anniversary. It's just disheartening, but I really thought since Edwin Jackson played for the Indianapolis Colts that people would care more. It wasn't on nightly news. It wasn't on ABC World News Now. It was not on CBS. Nobody's touching the story. And if you dig deep, which I did, I spent hours last night going through every local TV station in Indianapolis. They danced around the subject about immigration.
Of course they did.
Well, it's now on their front doorstep. They should deal with this. They should, at Lucas Oil Stadium, they should have a rally. They should have a march in order to no, this guy was on the ICE's list. He was waiting for deportation, and I don't know if he slipped through the cracks or just nobody cares anymore.
So here's what's happened. What's happened is people have been cowered by the mob on a range of issues, and this is one of them. And so what you have is the debate is what about sanctuary state and sanctuary city? I mean, honestly, we have the Department of Justice sending letters to places like Chicago and Cook County and the state of Illinois and California and a couple other 100 sanctuary cities around the country saying there will be consequences if you're not if you're not in compliance with federal law. So you have the Department of Justice at odds with cities and counties and some states like Illinois that think they can make up their own federal immigration policy, or that they can choose to enforce laws that they want to enforce and not enforce other laws. And that's runs exactly counter to all of the high-minded rhetoric we hear from politicians about we're a nation of immigrants, but we're also a nation of laws. They're not serious about it being a nation of laws, and people are in on the joke of it.
I know, and this kid, I mean, Edwin Jackson, one of 11 kids, had a pretty rough life growing up, grew up in Atlanta. They called him Pound Cake. That was his nickname on the football team. The Colts released a statement saying it was with a heavy heart that we share the loss of one of our own. Edwin Jackson always brought a smile to our locker room in the community. Our thoughts are with his family and friends during this difficult time. And the family members, a friend of the family spoke.
All of them were just sweet, funny little kids running around, full of life, energetic. Edwin was kind of quiet, but you can imagine he goes from like a little skinny, quiet little boy to being a massive young man. And so you see that whole metamorphosis happening right in front of you.
And because he is an NFL player, he should be the face of this immigration issue.
Well, I mean,
and where's ESPN? ESPN just kind of, he's dead, and here's what he accomplished on the football field.
ESPN, right? This is it's not just. I mean, so should the Uber driver be the face of it. So should Kate Steinle. So should Denny McCann. On and on and on. We have a porous southern border, and we're not serious about protecting American families. And so, and frankly, immigrant families, illegal immigrant families who are otherwise law-abiding. They could have just as easily been on the side of that road as Edwin Jackson and that Uber driver. I mean, it's so ridiculous, and the debate is sanctuary state and sanctuary city. I just don't know how you get around this fact. You have political leadership at the local and state level, at the federal level. I mean, with the exclusion of Trump and his team at Homeland Security, because I think they are serious, that are pushing back against removing violent criminals from this country. That's what's happening. That's why deaths like what happened on Sunday night in Indianapolis keep happening. And it will continue to happen as long as you have people who think sanctuary states and sanctuary cities make us more safe. They make us less safe. This isn't exactly a case of that, right? Because it wasn't like he had been arrested and he was and ICE had tried to get a detainer on him and then he went out and killed these people. But anything that allows repeat offenders and criminals a way out is making us less safe, and that's what sanctuary cities and sanctuary states do. And the people who support them are supporting an untenable position. And until we get that settled, we're not going to get these other things settled. And so all of the folks that want a compassionate deal on DACA and thoughtful immigration reform that reflects our values, we're never going to get there if you don't accomplish this simple first-order priority of government at every level, which is to provide for the physical security of your constituents.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer,
We're going to talk to Kevin Bastuga, one of the founders of Signature Bank, where we are broadcasting live from this morning.
and later, has she or hasn't she? Michelle Bachmann said she'd decide whether or not she'd run for the Senate seat if she received a sign from God. But first, let's go into the newsroom and catch up on the news here at home and around the world. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, it's the biggest one-day drop in the Dow from a point perspective. It echoes in the markets around the world today. The Dow dropped over 1,000 points yesterday. Investors worrying that echo could drive the Dow down even further as Asian markets closed down and European markets opened lower. Organizers of the South Korea Winter Olympics are scrambling to deal with an outbreak of the norovirus.
This has meant 1,200 security guards have been pulled from duty. The massive operation to protect the Games now being boosted by the South Korean military.
Norovirus, highly contagious, caused symptoms that include stomach cramps and vomiting. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk says it will be a big downer if the company's Falcon Heavy rocket blows up on the launch pad at the Kennedy Space Center. In spite of that, Musk tells the Today Show that is a possibility.
I hope it goes right. I give it maybe, I don't know, a half to two-thirds chance of working.
That's it?
Yeah. Actually, I feel like two-thirds, but I think realistically half.
The 230-foot tall rocket features 3 boosters, 27 engines. It will be the most powerful operational rocket in the world by a factor of 2 and is carrying a payload of Musk's personal 2008 Tesla Roadster. That small winter storm that blew through Chicago prompted airlines to cancel flights, plows to hit the roads this early morning. Our meteorologist Kevin Snyder says about 6 inches of snow fell across the southern portion of our listening area, about 3 inches elsewhere, less as you go north, and more snow is in his forecast for the rest of the work week. 2 elderly people are dead following a fire on Chicago's west side. Chicago getting some improving news about some of its finances. The Kroll Bond Rating Agency upgrading the city's debt a couple of notches. Kings over the Bulls 104-98. Blackhawks and Flames on the ice tonight at the United Center. College hoops. Northwestern takes on Michigan in the Big Ten. In the ACC, Notre Dame tackles Boston College. And in the MAC, our Northern Illinois Huskies visit Toledo. The news, a service of the Chicago Auto Show. Shake off the cold. Visit the Auto Show at McCormick Place, February 10th through the 19th. Download the Chicago Auto Show app. Save $3 on an adult ticket. Good for any day of the show. Find out more at ChicagoAutoShow.com. 7:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains the left's view on immigration.
Leftism is not interested in borders. Leftism, since Karl Marx, it has never deviated from this belief. National states are an anachronism. The nation state is irrelevant.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
This is Michael David from Seattle. I'm 51 years old, and 6 months ago, I started taking Andro 400 to increase my testosterone. Since then, I've lost 35 pounds of fat, and my waist went from size 38 to size 32. I have more energy, and I look and feel 20 years younger. And now my wife tells me I have to take Andro 400.
Hi, this is Ron Johnson from Utah. After 10 weeks of taking Andro 400, I lost 13 pounds, and my waist went from 36 to 33. That was 8 years ago. I continue to take Andro 400, and I've maintained my weight at 172. Gained muscle and energy. I'm 63 now and feel better than I have in 30 years.
Andro 400, the natural way to increase testosterone, lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel great. Try Andro 400, the safe, effective, affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
7:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound delays start at Niles Center. 35 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 29. Kennedy inbound delays start at Cumberland. It's an hour. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 51 minutes. Eisenhower, an hour and 12 minutes. 390 to the Circle, outbound 54 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and a half. 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 47 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes. 95th to downtown. 57, 44 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 65. Southbound Tri-State, jammed 132 to 22. Northbound delays, the Bishop Ford to Holstead, 127th to 31st. Reagan Tollway to 190. Dempster to Willow. Eastbound Adams Tollway bottled up, 59 to Roselle and Elmhurst Road to the Tri-State. Eastbound Reagan Tollway, it's heavy. Orchard, much of the way to 355 and 83 to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial heavy, Northwest Indiana 2. Traffic Service of Account Temps. Finding highly skilled accounting and finance professionals can be a challenge. Account Temps can help. With Account Temps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors, you can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit AccountTemps.com to learn more. Account Temps, a Robert Half company. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte. AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Turning cloudy, not as cold, high 19. Cold night ahead, 1 to 2 inches of snow in the forecast, a low of 12 above. Currently, we have sunshine, 3 above at O'Hare, and it is 9 above along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 2 for Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth.
Don't miss Beyond the Talking Points with Dan Proft going one-on-one with Donna Brazil. Thursday, March 22nd. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/beyond.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're coming to you live from Signature Bank in Edison Park, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour 2018. Kicking that off today, and we'll be at businesses around the greater Chicagoland area in the coming weeks as part of our tour, just as we've done the past couple of years. It's always fun. And joining us now is Kevin Bastuga, one of the co-founders of Signature Bank, Executive Vice President here. Kevin, thanks for hosting us. Appreciate it.
Thank you both for being here.
So I noticed
version 3.0.
Yeah, exactly, 3.0. So let's see if we can improve upon the last 2 years.
Let's try.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You're one of the co-founders.
Correct.
Right. How did you guys work it out between who were going to be the executive VPs and who was going to be the president?
We gave it to Mick because he had more gray hair. The president
That's
title.
fair.
Oh,
That's fair.
Hi, Mick.
You measure each other by
Yeah.
how do you measure yourself against other golfers by height?
Well, it's all looks. It's all looks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's I assume that's how it was in banking. That's it's kind of a glamorous profession.
Right.
So I
Right.
assume it was who was kind of most telegenic.
Right.
So last time we were visiting, we were at your downtown location, and this location is fairly new. So tell us about it.
So this location is new. Our original location was right across the street at Harlem and Northwest Highway. This piece of land was vacant, and it was owned by a developer that we do business with, Ronan Construction. Props to Jimmy and Stephen Ronan.
Oh, I love those guys.
They built this branch for us, and we've got a long-term lease. We really moved over here to sort of expand the retail footprint and respond to customers in this area, which is, this was our original customer base as far as our retail business, requested a drive-through and a little more parking and things like that. So this was just a response to what our customers were asking for.
Now, I notice you have security here, and I'm just wondering, is that to keep the Irish politicians stumbling out of the gin mills in Edison Park out of here during business hours? Or
Partially.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
I mean, it's safety first.
Yeah.
And it's
Yes.
you want the customers to have an environment that's...
That, and there's free coffee on Saturday. We need security for crowd control.
I have to tell you, my bank is so dark and drab, and dark walls and dark carpet. Coming in here, I love the airy feel to it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Unfortunately,
Did you pick out the granite countertops?
I did not
Come
pick
on,
out any of
Kevin.
the furnishings.
You
I did
didn't?
not. You can give that credit to Julie Simon. She's there in the background.
Unfortunately, Amy, you don't have you don't meet the capital requirement to open an account here.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
as,
not true, right? You welcome everybody.
We welcome everyone.
Little money and big money.
We welcome everyone.
So how many customers do you have now? What did you start out with, and how many do you have to present time?
Total customers in terms of numbers, I'm actually not sure. But in terms of the sort of the critical mass of the bank, so we started back in 2006, raised initially $24 million in equity, in a private equity raise. All individual shareholders, and our intent was really to create this bank, an enterprise that the investors would be truly personally invested in, and would be invested in helping us grow the bank. So, and we think we've done that. So today, like I said, we started with basically $24 million in capital. As we sit today, we are $760 million in assets.
Wow.
Loan portfolio of $570 million, mainly commercial, but we are also a full-service retail bank.
What do you attribute that? I mean, that's a huge amount of growth in a decade. What do you attribute that to?
So, part of our business plan, I think we've talked about this in past broadcasts, has been really to serve this part of the Chicago business market that we saw as being underserved. So as the larger banks got larger, their appetite for deals also got larger. And we saw this sort of vacuum forming in the market where the $10 to $15 million, metal bending company in Elk Grove Village was truly being underserved. That individual used to call a vice president at LaSalle Bank or American National Bank, and now they were calling an 800 number at Bank of America. So as we saw that developing, we thought we would sort of step in and fill that niche in the banking world. That followed shortly thereafter by the economic crisis, which tightened credit across the board for everyone. So that vacuum became a little more empty. And in the meantime, we had plenty of capital, so we kept lending through the crisis, and I think that really put us on good footing to continue our growth.
And talk about the regulatory environment, because Bank of America can employ the reams of lawyers you need for compliance, particularly in the Dodd-Frank era, and how difficult it is to open a bank and then to meet all the compliance requirements, particularly with the kind of layers of regulatory measures that you have to abide at the federal level.
Right. So in terms of the regulatory burden, Dodd-Frank really has a statement of applicability that it only applies to banks over $10 billion. But in reality, all of that regulation rolls downhill. So over time, we get what's called regulatory creep, and we're certainly experiencing that. For banks our size, less than $1 billion, the compliance costs have become, pretty substantial, to the point that some smaller banks are really having a hard time complying with all the compliance laws and employing people to comply with the laws. So as we look at the regulatory environment now, it's interesting that President Trump he's appointed 2 regulators that seem to be more of a deregulatory mindset, Jelena McWilliams at the FDIC and Otting at the OCC. So it will be interesting, specifically with Jelena McWilliams. She has said in her confirmation hearings that she wants to make it a priority for smaller banks to be able to do business without the compliance burden. And that's not to say rolling back regulations, but maybe applying them more practically.
So have you felt the effects of the deregulations that have already been passed on by Trump, or are you still waiting?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. We'll see what falls downhill. Really, our primary regulator is the FDIC, and then the state of Illinois Department of Financial Regulation. So we'll see what develops. I do think that his appointing of a woman like Jelena McWilliams, those regulatory agencies tend to be follow the tone from the top. So if the tone from the top is deregulation, we should see the application of that in the next 12 to 24 months.
What about the impact of on the private sector side of activity? Illinois obviously is a high-tax state, so some of the deregulation and the tax relief is blunted here. But in terms of the businesses that you serve, what have you seen over the last year? What are you expecting in 2018?
So we've certainly seen more business activity across the board with our portfolio. I think since Trump has been in office, there's definitely been, as you see with the stock market, barring the last 2 days, some real exuberance about just general economic activity. Certainly with the tax cut, there's going to be more capital available for the companies that we serve to be able to reinvest. So that's a thesis that personally I believe in. We'll see what happens over the next 12 to 24 months. We certainly see the activity level, though, and the general, the general thought of accepting more economic risk by these companies. We've certainly seen that come to fruition.
On a personal note, as growing up with Dan Proft, how has he affected your professional career?
Yeah.
How has he inspired you to dig deeper?
That's the right word. Yeah, that is the right word.
Yeah, I would say omnipresent inspiration.
Yeah, right. I'm always there. Yeah, I'm always there, like Gazoo.
What would Dan do? Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question, too. Since Amy broached the subject, I wasn't going to do that. It's self-indulgence.
Yes.
But since you broached it, would you say that Frank Kaminsky, Diablo Cody, or Dan Proft is the most important graduate of Bennett Academy?
I think Kaminsky probably gets it at this point, but
he might be a little more athletic than you.
The clock hasn't run out. As long as the microphone's still working, you've got a chance.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Now you've inspired me to be better. He is Kevin Bastuga. He's the Executive Vice President of Signature Bank, one of the co-founders. We are kicking off our Signature Bank Business Tour 2018, or version 3.0, as you said, Kevin, today at their location at Edison Park. Kevin, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you both for being here. Appreciate it.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Forecast for today. Plenty of sunshine right now, but it's still cool. We have temperatures in the single digits. It is 7 degrees right now at O'Hare, going up to a high of 19 degrees. Tonight, the snow returns anywhere from a dusting to 2 inches. And they say untreated surfaces will be slippery, a low of 12 degrees. And for tomorrow, some clouds and sun, a little bit warmer, a high of 22 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. It's bad on the roads pretty much everywhere. Northbound I-65, bumper to bumper, US 30 to 61st Avenue. Delays on westbound 8094, 65 to Klein Avenue. 53 now heavy southbound Dundee to Kirchhoff, northbound a bit tight Kirchhoff to Northwest Highway. Slow going on the northbound tri-state, Bishop Ford to Holstead, 127th to 31st, Reagan Tollway to 190 and Dempster to Willow. Southbound, solid mess 132 to 22. Spot Adams Tollway, stop and go 31 to Roselle and 2-way to the tri-state. Reagan Tollway, scattered delays Orchard to 355, then 83 to the tri-state. Eden's 30 minutes like Cook to Montrose, outbound 36. Kennedy, an hour O'Hare to downtown, outbound 51 minutes. The Ike, an hour 14, 390 to the Circle, outbound an hour and 4 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 31 minutes, 355 to the Drive, outbound 47 minutes. The Ryan is 38 minutes, 95th to downtown. I'm Jim Talamonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Get your tickets for Beyond the Talking Points on Thursday, March 22nd. That's when I will go one-on-one with Donna Brazil, former chair of the DNC and campaign manager for Al Gore. And I've already said it's fine if Hillary Clinton provides her the questions in advance to make it fair. We're going to sit down for an extended conversation about the big issues facing the country, everything from immigration to health care, from tax reform to government spending. And, of course, we'll talk about the Trump administration and its accomplishments thus far. And in case you were unsure, Donna and I don't agree on almost any of these things, so it's sure to be a lively debate. It's me and Donna Brazil, March 22nd in Rolling Meadows. Tickets are selling briskly, so get yours today. Just go to 560theanswer.com/beyond. That's 560theanswer.com/beyond.
Are you behind in your mortgage, facing foreclosure, being given the runaround on a loan modification application by some bank or servicer? Well, you're not alone, but I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've put together a team to help distressed homeowners like you. Give us a call. We give everyone who's eligible a free consultation. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
Napa know-how.
Right now, you can get a $20 prepaid Visa gift card by mail with the purchase of a Napa Legend Premium Battery. Its superior durability, capacity, and power make it the obvious choice for people who hate getting stranded by a dead car battery. So pretty much everyone. The Napa Legend Premium Battery and $20 back. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer ends 2/28/18.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, what are you doing up here on the roof?
I want to tell the world I just met the woman of my dreams. What about you?
I want to tell the world that Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
They saved me $782.
Oh, you go first then. $782 really puts finding love into perspective.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Ament, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman & Ament and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman & Ament needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was surprised at myself how much energy I had, and I'm doing 2 jobs, running around like a maniac, and I was able to handle it. Really, I'm like, wow, this stuff is really good. So, more than anything else, it just gave me the extra energy and the well-being, feeling of well-being that I don't think I would have without it.
Well, I take it every day, and I feel great. And my wife looks at me and says, how come you never get sick? And I do. It's because I take the fruits and veggies.
I just feel a lot better. My life is turning around. Everything is working for me.
It just helps me feel good. I just think the products are wonderful, and I take them every day. I just like it. It works.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
For more than a half century, Mueller CPA and Financial Advisory has provided audit, tax, outsourced accounting, business consulting, and financial advisory services to Chicagoland companies. Mueller provides customized financial guidance to a client base that includes independent business owners, startups, local government, and nonprofits. I'm with Dave Nissen, Mueller Managing Partner.
Thanks, Dan. Mueller values being part of the community for the last 50 years, meeting our clients' financial service needs.
A major component of meeting those needs is our professionals' superb knowledge and their ability to deliver timely and quality solutions to meet our clients' challenges. Whether you're interested in tax minimization strategies, looking to expand your business, or need assistance with business planning, our team can help. Our goal is your company's financial success today and over a lifetime.
For questions about how the recent legislative changes can specifically affect your business or how to effectively plan for these changes, call Dave Nissen at 847-888-8600 or visit MuellerCPA.com. That's Mueller, MUELLER, CPA.com.
What interest rate would you rather pay on your credit card debt? 17% or less than 6% APR? The answer is obvious, Lightstream. Because with Lightstream, you may be able to consolidate credit card debt and dramatically cut your interest rate to as low as 5.49% APR with AutoPay. Plus, radio listeners get an additional rate discount. Just go to lightstream.com/news. With average interest rates on credit card debt at 17% APR, Lightstream could save you thousands in interest. And because Lightstream is a division of SunTrust Bank, one of the nation's largest and strongest financial institutions, you can have complete peace of mind. The application takes just minutes, and there are no fees and no pressure. Just lower rates, one low fixed monthly payment, and huge savings. So if you have good to excellent credit, apply today and get a special interest rate discount when you go to lightstream.com/news. That's lightstream.com/news. Lightstream.com/news.
Subject to credit approval. Rates include 0.5% autopay discount available only when you select autopay prior to loan funding. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com for important information about limits on Lightstream loans.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. 3 seconds a day. That's all it takes to finally surpass your weight loss goals. With Calitrin, it's seriously so easy.
My name is Melissa. I've been taking Calitrin and I've lost 22 pounds.
This is Dixie from Bell Fountain, Ohio. I ended up losing 28 pounds and about 6 inches.
Hi, this is Susan. I take Calitrin. I've lost about 60 pounds.
Hi, I'm Alex Trevino from Austin, and I've been on Calitrin now for a little while and lost 40 pounds. Went from a size 51 waist to a size 42 and never felt better in my life. It's the best thing that I've ever taken. I've tried it this market, and nothing has beat or compared to this at all. I would highly recommend it.
If you're ready to have your own success story, you can join the hundreds of thousands who have lost weight with the #1 healthy choice for weight loss. Just go to toploss.com to check out Calitrin for yourself or call 1-800-325-4366. Again, that's toploss.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy coming to you live from Signature Bank, kicking off our Signature Bank Business Tour 2018, and also remembering John Mahoney this morning, the great John Mahoney from Oak Park, Chicago boy made good, great actor, great artist. I had the occasion to actually be able to sit and have dinner with him in 2012 at a gala for the Museum of Broadcast Communications, Bruce Dumont's place, of course, and it couldn't have been a more gracious, unassuming, and entertaining. It was really delightful to talk to, gentlemen, and in addition to obviously his work that we all appreciate, from Frasier to Say Anything to Barton Fink and so on and so on. It was just a pleasure to meet him and then see him perform also locally so many times at Steppenwolf. I saw him, his last performance in the Rembrandt last year at Steppenwolf.
Yeah, and he performed, I think on Saturday was his last performance at Steppenwolf. He starred in You Got Older was the name of the play, and last night they announced his death, and instead we cannot go on with the show.
Of course.
So everybody come out into the bar and have a drink to John Mahoney. Of course, most people remember him as Frasier.
I accidentally stain your carpet, and you set fire to the one thing in this apartment I care about, and heave it out into the street. I'll tell you what, the healthiest thing you can do right now. Want to know the healthiest thing you can do? Shut my yap. Bingo!
The other thing that was interesting about him, less publicized, of course, was this epiphany he talked about in a book that Kathleen Falsani wrote, a former religion reporter for the Sun-Times, where he talked about his visit in about 1975 to St. Peter's in the Loop. And so he said it was just about the most emotional thing that ever happened to me. I don't know where it came from. I just had a little breakdown of some sort, and after that made a conscious effort to be a better person, to be a part of the world, and to try and revolve around everyone else in the world instead of expecting them to revolve around me. Rest in peace, John Mahoney.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer,
we'll talk about JB and Blagojevich's Pillow Talk at 8:08.
But first, here's Mike Scott.
An elderly man and woman killed in a West Side blaze. Turning cloudy and not as cold today. WIND Chicago News Time, 8 o'clock.
It may be another bad day to check 401ks. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The opening bell may ring in a lot more selling. Markets also have been plunging overseas. Fox's Jeanne Ives watching the markets live.
Dave, Dow futures recovered overnight, then turned negative again. Right now, Dow futures down 128, indicating the markets are still volatile. The reason is believed to be concerns about inflation. Interest rates are still historically low, even though the stock market has been rallying and the economy is improving. The Federal Reserve responds to inflation with higher interest rates. The Dow has dropped 7% since Friday. A market correction is considered 10%.
Jenny, President Trump may be eager to talk to the special counsel in the Russia probe, but apparently his lawyers are not. Fox's John Decker is live at the White House.
President Trump's outside attorneys are leaning against him having sittings with the special counsel, Robert Mueller, for an interview under oath. The concern is that Mueller has so much information from the White House and transition document production that it would be relatively easy for Mueller to ensnare the president in a perjury trap. Sources tell Fox News that the president's in-house attorney, Ty Cobb, is more inclined to agree to an interview as a way to bring the Mueller investigation to a close. Dave?
John, it's up to the president to approve the release of the Democratic rebuttal to the Republican memo.
I think it's going to be very hard for the White House, like it was hard for the Republicans on our committee, to block release of this.
Democrat Adam Schiff says it clears up distortions and inaccuracies in the GOP memo, which alleges the FBI used the anti-Trump dossier to spy on ex-campaign aide Carter Page.
When I actually saw it, it was even worse than I could have possibly imagined.
Page tells Fox he did have brief encounters with Russians and was an energy advisor in the past to the Kremlin. Gronk got robbed. Police in Foxborough, Massachusetts, investigating the break-in at New England Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski's house. Multiple safes, maybe guns, were stolen while he was away at the Super Bowl. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Sunshine this morning, 6 degrees above at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 2 elderly people are dead following a fire on Chicago's west side. The blaze broke out early this morning inside of an apartment building near Wilcox and Pulaski. Chicago Fire tells us the cause is still under investigation. Politically this morning, a judge says Attorney General candidate Scott Drury's name can remain on the ballots for the March 20th primary, while a decision to remove his name from the ballot is being appealed. A stay was granted Monday after a Cook County judge determined on Friday that the Democratic legislator from Highwood could not be on the ballot over paperwork issues. Des Plaines is hiring an outside firm to investigate allegations of sexual assault against a female police officer during an off-duty party last summer. Aldermen voted to authorize the city to spend $50,000 on the probe. The firm will look into the possible misconduct at a golf outing at the Hilldale Golf Club in Hoffman Estates in June. The event was attended by dozens of officers. The Kings rebound from a 9-point first quarter and come back to beat the Bulls 104-98 last night. Blackhawks and Flames will close out a home-and-home tonight at the UC. College hoops, Northwestern will tackle Michigan. Notre Dame entertains Boston College. In the MAC, our Northern Illinois Huskies visit Toledo. The news, a service of Audible. Stay motivated, informed, and entertained through the power of audiobooks. Listen anytime, anywhere with the Audible app. Start a 30-day trial, and your first one is free. Just go to audible.com. It's 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network, a service of turnkey.pro. Here's Jeanne Ives.
From the Fox Business Network, stock futures have turned lower, indicating there could be more selling on Wall Street today. The Dow closed down more than 4%, 1,175 points. Market watchers believe the sell-off was sparked by the concern that interest rates will be going higher. Scott Shellady of TGM Europe says the markets have been reacting to the improving economy and rising quickly.
Let me put it in perspective, not for a good reason or a bad reason, but just to give everybody pause for thought here. You know, we were up 6% at the end of January. So we've given back January plus another percent. That puts us back around the end of November, beginning of December last year.
Dunkin' Brands, parent company of Dunkin' Donuts, just reported a better-than-expected quarter. Sales were higher at Dunkin' Donuts locations. The Dow dropped 1,175 yesterday, NASDAQ down 273, S&P dropped 113. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jeanne Ives.
8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity has a plan to start immigration reform.
My answer to all of this is if you build the wall expeditiously, fund it fully, get it moving, then you can talk about any other topic you want to talk about. But I'm not buying that it's going to happen down the road. Now, the president has been reiterating over and over again that we need this border wall.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. Experts warn of a stock market crash any day now, and you could lose 50% or more of your hard-earned savings again. But you don't have to lose a penny. There's a better, safer way to save for retirement, and you can learn about it in a free report. This method continues to grow your money even when the market tumbles. To get this free report, go to bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com. Bankonyourself.com.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
8:06, and a check of your roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. The inbound Kennedy is jammed. Canfield to the Burn Circle. It's now an hour and 18 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 47 minutes from Montrose. 39 on the Express. Outbound 59 to the airport. Eden's 30 minutes from Lake Cook to the Junction. Outbound 36. The Eisenhower. An hour and 14 minutes from 390 to downtown. 56 minutes from Mannheim. Outbound an hour and 4 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 42 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. An hour from the Tri-State. Outbound 50 minutes to 355. Bryant, 40 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, it's gummed up. Bryn Mawr to North Avenue. Northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson and Bryn Mawr to Hollywood. Southbound Tri-State jammed, 132 to 22, and it's heavy 190 to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound 115th all the way up to the Cermak Toll with a crash in the left lane, and stop and go from the Reagan Tollway to 190 and from the Toohey Toll to Lake Avenue. The other tollways are also very heavy. Southbound 53, we see delays from Brand to the Adams Tollway and Gulf to 390. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Mostly sunny to start, then clouds increase throughout the day today with a high 18. Wind chill values of 0 to 10 below 0 for the morning. Then tonight, still cold with snow accumulating an inch or two, low 12. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 6 above at O'Hare. It's 9 above along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. We're coming to you from Signature Bank in Edison Park. We're kicking off our Signature Bank AM 560 Business Tour 2018 today. So we'll be broadcasting from businesses around the greater Chicagoland area in the coming weeks. And
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's fun.
Because I heard we're gonna go to Chicago helicopter.
That'll be fun. You get a helicopter ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chopper me home.
It's always fun. It's always fun seeing how different people innovate and make money and support their families. Yeah, that was
Big
great.
Monster Toys. That was fun. What's that guy's name who drives that little car? The little clown car? Scott.
What?
The owner of the company. Remember?
Oh.
He had the little Prius.
Oh, it was a smart car. Smart car. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, I call those clown cars.
Well.
Oh my gosh, why can't I think it's Scott, right?
Mercilessly made fun of him. So it's always, nice to visit people who have like real jobs.
Right.
Yeah, actually do something. All right. Speaking of people with phony baloney jobs, we have to talk about politics. And the latest release of audio between J.B. Pritzker, a.k.a. Spalding, and Blagojevich. This is J.B. and Blago talking again, more chatter.
Just like two little girlfriends,
More
huh?
banter. They're both on their princess phones talking about who should be appointed to Barack
Yeah.
Obama's Senate seat.
And this time Pritzker was focusing on Jesse White and how he thinks he should get the job.
I got a great idea for you, though. Okay. I'm sure you thought of this one, but Jesse White. Even though I know you guys aren't bosom buddies or anything, it covers you on the African American thing.
Correct.
He's totally, he's Senate material in a way that Emil Jones isn't, if I may say.
Okay.
He's just, I don't know how to say it exactly, but Emil's a little more crass.
Right.
And it opens up the Secretary of State spot, which is the key spot,
right?
Controls jobs, et cetera, and it'd be a lot less pressure on you. You don't have to put an African American in that spot.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. In response to that, and there's more, but in response to that, Dan Biss's campaign released a statement where it talks about for too long our broken system has allowed the wealthy to have unfettered access to the decision makers in our government. That's what breeds corruption, and when that access involves two influential white men making political calculations based on skin color, that's what perpetuates a racist system. People shouldn't be reduced to their race, said his
come on.
running mate, Leticia Wallace. Is that what's happening here, or is it more the fact that we talk in Chicago openly and notoriously and obsessively about race? You have pundits and politicians talk all the time about this should go to an African-American person, this should go to
a Latino.
A Latino person. Yeah. What about the Latino representation? What about the African-American representation? Diversity at to the exclusion of a discussion on the merits of somebody's qualifications, decisions, accomplishments, and the like. Don't we hear that all the time on political roundtables on Chicago Tonight, and political reporters asking questions that are race-based and politicians making statements that are solely focused on race? I agree with Leticia Wallace, this is running mate. People shouldn't be reduced to their race, but that's exactly what the left does all the time. And so they're feigning indignation over Pritzker and Blagojevich doing exactly what the left does as a matter of course.
And Pritzker called to push his candidate, Jesse White, but he also wanted to make sure that another Jesse did not get Barack Obama's Senate seat.
So that seems like, I know the Jesse White thing is it's not a perfect thing because he's not your best friend, but it does cover you, and it doesn't get you Jesse Jackson Jr., which, oh, God, please.
Listen to me.
It would be a nightmare. I hope you don't do that. But
man.
Valerie Jarrett, I guess, I don't know if she's really out of the running, but.
That's so great. You know why that's so great?
Awesome. Why?
Because it peels back the curtain to let you see and hear what people really think about their colleagues, even within their party, where it's all sanitized when they're on a dais or when they're speaking publicly about this, candidate or elected office holder or whoever, and what they really think. Oh my gosh, Jesse Jackson, and that had nothing to do with race. That had to do with Jesse Jackson, the human being,
right.
and what. And just how distasteful they find him as a human being. And that's something I think that actually you could forge a lot of bipartisan consensus around.
And then, he asked him, so what do you want? Like, Pritzker, what's in it for you? What position would you like to have?
But if you're forced to put an African-American in the spot, which my guess is, you're not forced to do anything, but my guess is a lot of pressure to do it. Of all the African-Americans I can think that are sort of qualified and vetted, and people will say, oh, that's a pretty good pick. The one that is least offensive and maybe gets you the most because it gets you that Secretary of State appointment is Jesse White.
You can argue he's got a lot in common with Obama. He's black and white. How stupid is that?
At least he recognizes it.
Wow.
The thing.
He's black and white, meaning what? He can relate to black people and because he's African American and to white people?
No, meaning he's black and his last name is White.
Oh, okay.
It's a bad dad humor. Yeah, apparently that was lost on you. Okay. But
this is why I listen to the show.
yeah,
Thank you.
Exactly. Yeah, he was making a pun. You see there?
It's black. It's white. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
does anything about what you've heard offend you? You think it's inappropriate? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. I mean, by the way, in terms of like race and stuff, I mean, Pritzker's recommendation for Jesse White, that would have been a lot better pick than Roland Burris if White would have taken it. I mean,
I just
White
didn't think he wanted to leave his position.
Well, maybe not, but I mean, for Pritzker to suggest, I mean, I would never
he
vote
still
for.
lives in the housing project that he grew up in.
I would never
Jesse
vote
White.
for either of these buffoons ever in a million years. Okay,
Well,
but I mean,
like Jesse White more because he's not friends with Blagojevich.
Well,
he distanced himself from him.
But the point is, for people that are feigning indignation over this conversation, Pritzker suggesting Jesse White, who's the most popular Democrat office holder, he's been Secretary of State for 4 terms, going on 5. He routinely wins just about every county in the state. For him to suggest that as Senate, that's good political advice, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, but the next person now, hold on to your hats. They did suggest one other person for the U.S. Senate seat.
Good. Hey, how about this one? God, if I knew for sure I wasn't running again.
Yeah.
How about Reverend Wright?
Oh, my God. Bill Ayers.
Yeah. No, how about getting Reverend Wright there? I bet you he'd take it.
Hilarious.
Huh? Would that be funny?
Hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Right there on the Senate floor. It's not God bless America. It's God America. When Barack was at Sunday school, I used to tell him.
I love it. That's funny.
I got to tell you, I mean,
love it.
that Bill Ayers. Spalding says Bill Ayers.
It's funny. It makes him more human.
This is how people. These are actual conversations that happen, as opposed to the crafted, contrived rhetoric you hear in public from these guys normally. And I mean, that last exchange where they're joking around about Wright versus Bill Ayers. I mean, to the extent it's possible, it kind of makes me like him more. David and McCook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, guys. I have a theory I haven't heard anybody address yet. I don't think that's really J.B. Pritzker. If you look real closely at the two of them, I think Rod escaped from prison and gained about 100 pounds.
Yeah, right. All right, thanks.
And lost some of his neck.
Tony in Olympia Fields.
Hey, how you doing, Dan and Amy?
Good.
Listen, this is why I'm a black Republican, because see, this is what I'm listening to. I'm hearing all the time being in Cook County. Mm-hmm. These are the types of things that they do. They plot and they plan to make sure that we as black Americans, black men in particular, only have minimum type of position. Don't rise too far. We can't have them being too much up here like this. We can just give them just enough, and then we'll be okay. We'll come around every 4 years to get their votes, and we'll throw a little something at them, and that's it.
Yeah, like slotting. You're talking about like slotting Jesse White or whoever for that seat, knowing they probably wouldn't be able to run for re-election.
Yeah, and I've been trying to say this for the longest, and trying to get more African Americans to join the Republican Party and become, which we are very conservative anyway in terms of our values and everything, but keep voting Democrat. And this is the way we're being treated all the time in the county, in the state, and in the city, constantly. I listen to your station a lot. I'm sorry?
No, I was in vociferous agreement with you, and I congratulate you on your work to try and get people to think differently.
And thank you. And I hope to see you at the you debate Donna Brazile.
Yeah, March 22nd.
I've listened to your show all the. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I got the email. I'm on your list to get the email and everything. Thank you for that.
He's got the download.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, Tony. Thanks for
calling.
Dan,
yeah, no problem. And look forward to hopefully meeting you one day and speaking to you guys again.
Me too. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate that.
I'm going to be parking cars outside at the event, right?
Yeah. Amy will take your keys. You come on in, and then we'll have a chat at the Donna Brazile event. That's good. Jay, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, yeah, I just was listening to it all, and the whole thing deeply offends me, but it's not what they're saying. It's the power brokering that I know and have known for my entire 50-year life has gone on.
Right.
But the fact that they pretend that it doesn't, it's just so nauseating and so infuriating. Because this is in every level And it's not just the Democrats, it's the Republicans. They think the same way. It's like, well, who can we put where that will get us the most bang for the buck for me? And who's going to pay the most? And it's just drastic.
There's no question about it.
For me, it's that you can
there's
hear
no
about
question,
it.
Jay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call. There's no question.
I mean, you're used because you're in the political circles where you prop up candidates and things like that. But for me, to hear it for the first time, I was taken back by it.
Well, yeah, I mean those are
Like, wow,
those,
that's what
right.
they think, and they talk like that.
Absolutely, that is a kind of generic version of those types of conversations, and it's the same thing. So you see how they actually are and what they actually think versus this high-minded ruse that they present in public. It's the same thing going on in response to the Jeanne Ives commercial with all of the moral scorn and the hysteria and the oh my goodnesses from the usual quarters, because indignation and name-calling and feigned moral superiority is easier than having a discussion on the merits of any issue. So we don't do issues in Illinois and in Chicago. We do race, we do demagoguery, we do virtue signaling. And this is why we have awful people running awful governments. Steve in Niles.
Good morning. You know what offends me? All of Cook County. Can the people in Cook County try and name one honest politician? Totally impossible.
Dan
Thank
Patlack.
you.
Thanks for the call. I named one.
Oh, yeah, Dan Patlack.
That's the only one.
What? Tom Dart?
No.
Yes.
I've named the only one. The list is
okay.
exhausted.
Well, for me, my list is Tom Dart.
He's not
Dan
on my
Patlack.
list. I know you're very wowed by the puppy rescues.
No, I'm
but I'm not. Sean in Elmwood Park.
Stop it.
Do you think it's any different with zoning permits or business licenses or contracts or grants? Do you think any of that is any different? That's government. Two half men, useless and corrupt, fat and born of the right name with that kind of power. Pritzker has done nothing, including a sit-up, his entire life. Yet he wields that kind of power directly to that pretend Elvis impersonator governor moron that he was. And that's what it looks like. It looks like that when they give insurance business, when they do real estate deals, when they give back grant money. That's it, right there. So you should be disgusted. And another thing for you, Prof.
Yeah.
Guys with beards are jolly. They're fat and jolly, like you. Santa, the guy from Family Affair in the 70s.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. That's the look I was going for.
You do look like him.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sean. I take that as a compliment. I appreciate that. But I will give Sean the line of the morning so far. J.B. Pritzker has never done anything in his life, including a sit-up. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Signature Bank.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Plenty of sunshine greets us today, but so do the cold temperatures. It is 6 degrees outside, going up to a high of 19 tonight. We cannot rule out another snowfall, dusting to 2 inches, depending on where you live. And then tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, a high of 22 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Amy and Dan, lots of train delays. And on Metro's electric line, no trains are getting past University Park in either direction. They're down power line. Edens runs 27 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, up on 36. Kennedy, hour and 10 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 45 minutes from Montrose, 35 in the Express. Outbound 32 to Montrose, 59 to the airport. Eisenhower, an hour and 12 minutes, 390 to downtown. 50 minutes from Mannheim. Outbound, it's an hour to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. The outbound side is 52 minutes. The Ryan, 40 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 40 minutes. I-80 to the Burge, Bishop Ford, 56. Southbound Tri-State, it's stop and go from 132 to 22 and 190 to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound, the Big Jam, 115th to the Cermak Toll with a crash in the right lane. And then it's heavy from the Reagan Tollway to 190 and from the Toohey Toll to Lake Avenue. Adams Tollway jammed 31 to Roselle and Lee to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway, scattered delays, Orchard to 355 and 83 to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial heavy 127th to the Reagan Tollway. North Avenue to 290. Northwest Indiana has delays too. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
No more excuses, gentlemen. It's a new year. It's time to do the things you've been putting off, especially when it comes to taking care of your health. I personally recommend visiting my friends at Low T Center. That's where I got my levels tested. They make it quick and easy. You walk in, take a simple blood test, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, you'll know your results in about 20 minutes. At Low T Center, their physicians exclusively diagnose and treat men with low T. If you do have low T, it can make you feel tired and grumpy. It can raise your cholesterol levels, cause weight gain, and cause you to lose muscle mass. If this is something you've been experiencing, you should get your testosterone levels checked. Guys, take the first step this new year. Contact my friends at Low T Center, now with a location in downtown Chicago on the Mag Mile at 625 North Michigan Avenue. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's me. The number again, 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 now or go to lowtcenter.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Are you stuck in a bad home mortgage? Well, join the club that has about 10 million other American families. But I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Lou Bridges and Associates. We've been helping distressed homeowners like you for over 8 years now. Give us a call. We provide free consultations. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest legal analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, I guarantee you'll never be alone in this country.
AM 560, The Answer.
So 3 Eagles have announced they're not going to the White House. Kyle Long, the
brother of Chris Long.
Right, son of Howie Long. Torrey Smith, wide receiver, and of course Malcolm Jenkins, the safety, who believes that police should have to undergo emotional intelligence testing. And I think what they should do is give one of their spots to Philadelphia Eagles super fans.
Yeah, the fans they just stopped celebrating, I think, but they're gonna have their big parade on Thursday. But one fan was egged on by the crowd to do something a little unconventional, something different, something like we've never seen. Because flipping the cars over, we all have done that. But this guy, got on his knees, put his hands behind his back, and was encouraged to eat horse poop. Here he goes. So they're surrounding the poop right now.
Can please use the proper term excrement.
I thought, okay, I could be the cool guy on campus. I could eat horse poop. Yeah. But he didn't touch it with his hands. He put his because I don't think he wanted to get his hands dirty.
No.
But he put his hands behind his back, leaned down, and picked up a donk.
He wanted to be sanitary.
See.
The horse liked it.
He didn't get arrested because I don't think any police officers
What's the
wanted
crime?
Well, horse poop breath. I mean, my gosh. And you wonder why this guy's single? Huh?
Well,
I don't think he's going to be getting any girls. Hey, honey, you want a kiss? Oh.
Yeah. What have you been eating? It smells like you've been
What
eating.
did you?
Yeah, no, that's actually what I have been eating. That's exactly what I've been eating, actually. Yeah, you got me.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk dossier dose with Andrew Clavin, Hollywood screenwriter, at 8:38.
And later, the Babe bracket is gone. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
6 degrees above, sunny skies for now. Dow futures are signaling another down day for the U.S. stock market. The Dow fell by about 1,200 points yesterday, a little under that, around 4%. The largest single-day point loss in history, but really only a little over 1% in terms of market capitalization. In erase gains for the year, though, and investors are bracing for a negative opening in just a few minutes this morning. The president will have to decide whether he will release a Democrat memo. That memo will challenge findings by Republicans about FBI surveillance abuses. The House Intelligence Committee voted to release the memo yesterday. Former White House Chief Strategist Steve Bannon will reportedly not testify before the House Intelligence Committee today. Reuters is reporting sources that say Bannon will ignore a subpoena that may open him up to a contempt of Congress charge. A Colorado deputy sheriff and an auto theft suspect are both dead following an exchange of gunfire.
Deputy Micah Flick, 34 years old, was shot in the line of duty and has died. Micah is survived by his wife and 7-year-old twins. Today was his 11th anniversary with the sheriff's office.
El Paso County Sheriff Bill Elder says a civilian, 2 other deputies, and another police officer were also shot. 2 elderly people are dead following a fire that broke out on Chicago's west side early this morning. Chicago Fire says they arrived at an apartment building near Wilcox and Pulaski and found the bodies of a man and a woman on the second floor. Kings rebound from a 9-point first quarter and wound up beating the Bulls 104-98. Blackhawks and Flames close out a home-and-home tonight at the UC. College hoops, Northwestern will host Michigan. Notre Dame entertains Boston College, and our Northern Illinois Huskies have a MAC tilt with Toledo. The news service of Audible. Stay motivated, informed, and entertained through the power of audiobooks. Listen anytime, anywhere with the Audible app. Start a 30-day trial, and your first one is free. Just go to audible.com. 8:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher reacts to the State of the Union.
Real simple takeaway. If you weren't impressed by the president's speech, not just the delivery, but the message, what was contained, the spirit of the message, the direction of the country, the State of the Union, if you weren't impressed, then it's real simple. Your lack of objectivity blinds you from the truth.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee. Millwright work is often technical and requires a high degree of precision. The pros at Vans Industrial are skilled mechanics that can perform any type of millwright work, including installation and maintenance of your factory equipment and machinery. For your machine repair needs, look no further than Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial millwright contractor that can install new mechanical systems or repair existing systems. Our services include repair of bearings, shafts, shiv alignments, as well as installation of conveyors and bucket elevators. Our team of trained mechanics will respond to your emergency calls 24/7, keeping your systems operational. We're here to help you.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. That's 833-VANS-IND. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS INSindustrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
I'm Chris Walls, and I'm a truck driver from Missouri. For 13 hours a night, I sit in my truck and I drive. Out of boredom, I'll stop and eat. If I'm not doing fast food, I guarantee there's a bag of chips open on my dashboard. That was all until Andro 400. I started out 4 months ago, and since taking Andro 400, I have dropped 45 pounds. I'm sleeping better. There's no cravings. I actually don't even think about food. My knee pain went away. I've had some lower back issues, and I've noticed that went away, and I can only contribute that to Andro 400. One thing that Andro 400 said on the radio ad is it attacks belly fat. Well, let me tell you, it did. The second month is where I saw a drastic change in the size of my stomach. I've lost 6 inches. This product really does work.
So guys, if you'd like to experience similar results, then get Andro 400, the safe, natural, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
It is 8:35. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound 24 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 42. The Kennedy, an hour and 10 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 45 minutes from Montrose, 35 in the Express. Outbound 59 to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour and 8 minutes, 390 to downtown, 43 minutes from Mannheim. Outbound, it's an hour to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, an hour from the Tri-State. Outbound 52 minutes to 355. Ryan, 45 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, it's very heavy from Foster to Michigan Avenue. Northbound 31st to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State, bumper to bumper, 132 to 22. And heavy approaching the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound, the jam from 115th to Cermak Toll after a crash. The Reagan Tollway up to Gulf Road. Adams Tollway stop and go 31 to Roselle and lead to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway from Randall all the way to 53. Northbound Veterans Memorial. Jammed 127th to Reagan Tollway, North Avenue to 290, westbound 8094 from I-65 to the state line. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. We'll start out with sun. Clouds build through the afternoon hours. Not as cold, high 19. More snow overnight, 1 to 2 inches expected, and a low of 12. Currently 7 at O'Hare. Next news update at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, coming to you live from Signature Bank. We're kicking off our 2018 Signature Bank AM 560 business tour. And, of course, more developments in the memo story, as one would expect. Number one being that the House Intelligence Committee voted unanimously to release the Democrat rebuttal memo.
Another easy read coming our way, huh?
Yeah.
President Trump says he has given it a nod ahead, right? He has 5 days.
And it is worth noting the difference in approach between the two parties. The House Intel Republicans and congressional Republicans release everything. Democrats didn't want to release anything. So just in terms of transparency and letting the American people be the judge of things that have been said and done and the basis of the saying and the doing, rather than just taking the word of the competing political narratives. It's just interesting. One party wants to be transparent and the other party doesn't. We're also getting more reaction from former FBI officials to Jim Comey as more information is being put into the public arena. We talked to James Fitzgerald yesterday, the famed FBI criminal profiler who was center in the Unabomber case, right? And he said basically like what you had there, not to impugn the rank and file because there's no reason to, they do their jobs. What you had there was a cabal at the top, senior leadership with Comey, that was using this opportunity to ply their political and ideological interests. And yesterday on Fox, you had another former FBI special agent who served under both Comey as well as Free and Mueller, so he can compare and contrast the FBI under the leadership of those three different individuals. And here's what he had to say, not dissimilar from our friend Jim Fitzgerald.
What we're talking about here is a breakdown in the senior leadership of the FBI under Jim Comey and Andy McCabe as deputy director. I would hate for the public to think that the FBI as an institution is flawed or biased. What this is a very small inner circle of senior leadership under Jim Comey at a very critical time period. And I just don't want this to reflect on the 35,000 very, the excellent men and women of the FBI who are doing a great job every day.
And comparing those three FBI directors?
Well, I had the perspective of serving directly under Director Mueller. I bet I sat in on 500-plus meetings with him and Director Free. And these were two great leaders. They stayed in the background. I never saw a hint of bias. Unfortunately, under Jim Comey, that hubris that you just mentioned caused him to make up his own rules. Leaks, permissive leak environment, predetermining investigations, a non-investigation of the Clinton email investigation, thumb on the scale on the Russian investigation in the beginning here with the FISA applications, and just generally making up their own rules and letting their own political opinions infect their investigation.
In fact,
that is something you learn at the FBI Academy. You can't let your personal bias, you got to leave those at home. If not, you need to be in another line of business.
To continue this discussion now, we're pleased to be joined again by our friend Andrew Klavan, celebrated Hollywood screenwriter, essayist, and author of the book The Great Good Thing, A Secular Jew Comes to Faith in Christ. He has written a couple of very useful pieces on this general topic we want to discuss with him. Andrew, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan. Good to be here.
I want to start with this piece that you wrote, at least that I saw in the City Journal, where you talk about the real FISA scandal. A bill for 8 years of willful media blindness is starting to come due. What do you mean?
Well, I think it's a mistake to look at this in the narrow focus on the FBI. What really happened during the Obama administration is that Barack Obama, a Chicago machine politician, turned the federal government into a Chicago-style machine. And this is not, just me saying this or something that I'm guessing at. We know this is true. We know that he used the IRS to suppress conservative voices during his reelection campaign. We now know from a court case that he used the IRS to suppress Jewish groups who supported Israel against the will of the administration. We know he used Hillary Clinton in the State Department to lie about the disaster Benghazi, so it didn't seem like there was more terrorism than there was. And we know that his Justice Department, Eric Holder described himself, the Attorney General described himself as Obama's wingman. Imagine Jeff Sessions saying that about Trump. And of course, Loretta Lynch met with Hillary Clinton on the tarmac while Bill was still under investigation. This was the way the Obama White House worked, and it could work that way because the press turned a blind eye. Partially, I think it was that they agreed with his left-wing policies, and partially, I think that they agreed with the Democrat racial pathology, which says to criticize a black person or something that black groups are doing is somehow racist, which is absurd. Each of us should be judged on his own actions and character. And I think Obama was an incompetent, and I think he was corrupt. And corrupt not in the sense of trying to steal money like the Clintons did, but corrupt simply that he believed that his ideology was so correct, so right, that it was worth misusing the vehicles of power against his fellow Americans in order to ensure his victory. I think we're seeing...
I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's and again, just to echo those sentiments, is James Fitzgerald, is Chris Wecker saying they just made up their own rules.
That's right. And what you see now as they release this memo, what was so shocking to me, just amazing to me, is they released this memo that might have damning information on powerful people in our government. And the press, almost as one, reacted to try and suppress it even before they knew what was in it. They tried to tell us it was going to harm national security. This is the media I'm talking about, reporters, journalists who are supposed to have this instinct to go for blood when it comes to powerful people. And instead they tried to minimize it. They tried to twist it as some kind of Trump conspiracy against the Russian investigation. They tried to do everything they could to keep this information from reaching the public, and once it reached the public, minimizing it and shoving it aside. That's our media. That's our journalists, the guys who are supposed to guard the guardians. were suddenly completely, missing. And they were missing for 8 years. It really is only a continuation of the way they behaved for 8 years. And in a way, listen, this is the check we have on government, is our press. The press is constantly telling us how wonderfully brave they are in telling truth to power. But in fact, they've been protecting power from the truth for 8 years. And this is just a little continuation of that, the way they're reacting to this memo. And I really do think, look, the First Amendment means that that nobody can control the press. But I think as a national conversation, it's time to talk about reforming the press, about having a press that really either represents the country or represents the old value of objective truth-telling. What we're seeing now is absurd. 90% negative coverage of Donald Trump, 3 times worse coverage, according to Pew, than Obama got. You almost can't blame Obama for going off the rails when he must have realized somewhere along his presidency that no matter what he did, they were not going to touch him. They were not going to make a scandal last. They would report it and then drop it after a week. Look at it this way. Just imagine for 1 minute that George W. Bush had his FBI spying on American citizens on the basis of opposition research. The New York Times would have had headlines so big they wouldn't have fit on the front page. If you think back to what happened at Abu Ghraib, a very minor event. It was, abusive. Yes, people should have been punished. Yes, the New York Times published a gigantic black book after Abu Ghraib called The Road to Torture. If this had happened under George W. Bush, you could have bet that standing next to it would have been The Road to Tyranny. And instead, what we get is this kind of, don't look at this, folks. This is bad for you. You don't want to see this. It doesn't mean anything. It's just the Republicans acting up. And I just think that is so bad for the country. I think it is the press doing the opposite of what it tells us it does.
So now that we know that the Democrats paid for the dossier, which was presented to the FISA court as if it was true, do you think that anything that comes out of this investigation people will believe?
I have to say, Amy, what we know so far has not completely destroyed the validity of the Mueller investigation. I wasn't a big fan of the Mueller investigation from the very start. But having said that, they're still claiming that the words of George Papadopoulos a couple of months before this FISA warrant are what started this Russia investigation. Papadopoulos was a minor Trump aide, and he was in Australia, and he had a couple of drinks, and he started bragging about what Russia had on Hillary Clinton. And that's what supposedly started this investigation. It's a very weird investigation to begin with because there's no crime of collusion, and special counsels are supposed to be appointed to investigate crimes. There's all kinds of reasons not to believe in it. But I think that, I think we have to follow the advice of Trey Gowdy on this. Let it take its course, see where it goes. I don't think we need to have the government explode by, shutting it down before its time. But I do think we have to look at it carefully and see, whether the corruption that seems to have seeped into the top level of the FBI is continuing in this investigation.
Do you think the Trump lawyers are right to want their clients, the president, to refuse an interview with Mueller?
Absolutely, 100%. There's no reason to walk into an interview where you could actually commit a crime simply by misstating something. It's crazy. That's what Mueller has got so far, what they call these process indictments, where you agree to be interviewed and then maybe you mess up a fact, or maybe in a moment of fear you say the wrong thing, and suddenly you're accused of lying to the FBI. You're not accused of any underlying crime. There is no underlying crime. Collusion, even if it took place, collusion wouldn't be a crime. And yet, if you say the wrong thing, suddenly you can be indicted for saying the wrong thing. That's what happened to Scooter Libby during that absurd investigation in the Bush administration. So yeah, I think his lawyers, when Trump started saying, I'll go and talk to Mueller, I was shouting at the TV saying, don't do that.
I'm like, no, don't do it. It's a trap.
Also in your column, Andrew, you mentioned something that we talked about yesterday. One of the many pundits weighing in on this, former CIA counterterrorism official Philip Mudd on CNN, who we've had on the show too, fine discussion. But he said his reaction to this memo release was bizarre to me, and it was concerning. It frankly played into some of the concerns about a fifth column action inside the intelligence community against the president. He basically said that if the president thinks he can derail the Russian collusion investigation with the release of this memo and so on and so forth, then, you want to go to war with the FBI, Mr. President? We've been here since 1908. You've been here 18 months. We're going to win. What are you going to win? I mean, that's such a weird way to phrase what's going on here, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he's not the only one. Chuck Schumer said the same thing at the start of the Trump administration. You don't, with this kind of smirking smile on his face, saying, you don't mess with the CIA because they'll come after you. You don't mess with the FBI. I mean, The Onion, the satirical newspaper The Onion, had a headline about this memo that said FBI warns Republican memo could undermine faith in massive, unaccountable government secret agencies. Right. I think that when these guys say that, what they're essentially saying is we're the power. We don't have to get elected. We'll be here. We were here before you were elected. We'll be here after you were elected, and therefore the people's voice doesn't matter. If you mess with us, we will stop you. And when you hear people even thinking like that, first of all, the guy should never be invited on television again. I mean, that to me is the most un-American thing you could possibly say. And if that is really what you're defending, if what you're defending is a massive, deep state with no oversight. Remember, the FBI and the Justice Department are responsible to Congress. The Congress is doing their job, investigating them. This is what they're supposed to be doing. So what you're saying is the deep state is so powerful that your elected officials can't touch it, so there's no sense turning up to vote. I think maybe you should move to another country.
He is Andrew Klavan, Hollywood screenwriter, essayist. Screenplays include True Crime, made into that Clint Eastwood movie, which is excellent. Don't say a word. Also, the author of the book, The Great Good Thing, A Secular Jew Comes to Faith in Christ. Andrew, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, guys.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Did you know that studies have shown that we need over 10 servings of fruits and veggies every single day? If you're like me, it's hard to find the time and money to prepare and eat all of those fruits and vegetables. Who can do that? Yet we know that proper nutrition can prevent health problems, give us energy, and help us heal faster. Balance of Nature has spent over 20 years researching and delivering solutions to this problem. We can ensure that you consume over 30 different fruits and veggies every single day. Our capsules are filled with 100% real whole foods. There isn't a single thing added to Balance of Nature products. They're pure. We spent an incredible amount of time on the quality of our products. We do this for you. We do it for our own families. Give yourself a break and give your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
Looking to secure financing on a new home? Or then you need to do what I did and call David Hochberg and Team Hochberg mortgage experts over there at Pearl Mortgage to get approved for a mortgage before speaking with a realtor. Gloria, recently divorced mother of two, secured a Team Hochberg loan approval before purchasing a home. Now, Gloria's contract was accepted over 3 or 4 other buyers because Gloria's contract was the only contract with a Team Hochberg loan approval, which enabled her to close within 10 business days of signing that contract. Gloria also did a Permasteel sewer inspection, which Team Hochberg issued a credit for at the closing, and found a blocked sewer line the seller had to correct. To exponentially increase your chances of purchasing a home, secure a Team Hochberg loan approval like Gloria did by calling David and Team Hochberg at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. David and Team Hochberg helped me, Gloria, and thousands of AM 560 listeners, but they can't help you if you don't call. 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee, 4358, NMLS 19186.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
What interest rate would you rather pay on your credit card debt? 17% or less than 6% APR? The answer is obvious, Lightstream. Because with Lightstream, you may be able to consolidate credit card debt and dramatically cut your interest rate to as low as 5.49% APR with AutoPay. Plus, radio listeners get an additional rate discount. Just go to lightstream.com/news. With average interest rates on credit card debt at 17% APR, Lightstream could save you thousands in interest. And because Lightstream is a division of SunTrust Bank, one of the nation's largest and strongest financial institutions, you can have complete peace of mind. The application takes just minutes, and there are no fees and no pressure. Just lower rates, one low fixed monthly payment, and huge savings. So if you have good to excellent credit, apply today and get a special interest rate discount when you go to lightstream.com/news. That's lightstream.com/news. Lightstream.com/news.
Subject to credit approval. Rates include 0.5% autopay discount available only when you select autopay prior to loan funding. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com for important information about limits on Lightstream loans.
If you have pain, I hope you listen up. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of the side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you could be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
Spark ideas for spring home improvement at the Old House New House Home Show, February 9th through 11th at Pheasant Run Resort in St. Charles. Explore the latest in kitchens, baths, basements, additions, renovations, and landscaping. Discover displays from 300 award-winning contractors, talented designers, and creative craftsmen. You can also meet experts on roofing, waterproofing, window treatments, patios, pergolas, painting, tile, custom closets, windows, doors, flooring, and more at the Old House New House Home Show. Enjoy inspiring workshops on kitchen design, decorating trends, beautiful bathrooms, and landscaping design. Plus, meet Mr. Fix-It, Lou Manfredini, on Saturday morning. Adult admission is $7, seniors just $4, and parking is free. A portion of ticket proceeds benefits Habitat for Humanity of Northern Fox Valley. Update, renovate, and revitalize your home with the Old House New House Home Show, February 9th through 11th at Pheasant Run Resort, St. Charles. For tickets and more information, visit kennedyproductions.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, Rich from McHenry, you get the final word. 30 seconds. Go.
Hey, first of all, Dan, I love what you say most of the time. I think the guy that you just had on, I'm just thrilled to hear somebody saying that because I feel like a lot of people don't see the big picture, and I think that's what he was pointing out. It's something I recognized early in the Obama administration myself. I did want to respond to your comment the other day. You were talking to somebody and said that
10 seconds.
To get over the idea that we'll ever have unbiased journalism anymore. Having gone through journalism school, I heard them talking about how you can't be unbiased, and I understand that you bring.
Yeah,
all
Rich.
your
Thanks
personal-
for the call, Rich. We got to go. We're up against the clock. Sorry, but I get it, and I appreciate the call, and we appreciate that you like Andrew Klavan.
Yeah, and we want to thank you so much for making us part of your morning. And thanks to Signature Bank, our business benefactor tour that we're going to start kicking it off today. We appreciate it. Now let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Sunshine to start the day, snow on the way. WIND Chicago News Time 9.
This is